Hi, Angela.
Hey.
We're live. What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm looking through some recommendations that the chat made yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so before it was like 2 minutes before we decided to leave last night.
Yes.
Kindly DiCaprio was mentioning that Jeremy Sisto mentioned your audition story in a video.
That's wild.
So,
Hi, Erica. What's going on?
I think I found it. I only just found it because Kindly DiCaprio mentioned it as a few different things. Said Hollywood Insider, so I went looking for that, and there was nothing from the last year. And then here it says TV Insider, which is a different website. Anyway,
TV Insider?
Yes, they did, because he's a TV guy now.
Delicate, what's going on?
So apparently they do this continuing series of where they interview TV actors about a big audition. And so he's telling his audition story. And I think he mentions you in it, according to Kindly DiCaprio, but I haven't.
Not me by name.
No.
Just me by event.
This is from yesterday.
Should I read it?
Kindly DiCaprio said he told your clueless audition story on TV Insider from his perspective, so I figured you were still friends, but maybe more distant now.
Oh my God, Leo was on New Heights.
He was? That's what they're saying?
Delicate's saying I didn't watch Leo on New Heights, LOL.
That's weird.
I didn't even know he was there. God, it just breaks my fucking heart. It just breaks my heart.
No, send him a book.
Who? Send Jason a book?
Yes. Be like, oh, you're interested in DiCaprio. Oh, boy, do I have some stories for you.
DiCaprio's not an Eagles fan. I am, so that already makes you, let's get this. Oh, God. New Heights. Oh, it's just I already had a headache.
You said that they went around and poached your lawyers before you could get them. No, you guys did that, right?
We did that, yeah. Well, yeah.
So now he's poaching your
podcast
podcast before you can get on them.
Oh my God, it's just so well. So anyway, since you bring it up, Delicate, Leo's movie, it looks like it's turning to win the weekend. I don't know. No one's talking about it.
Nobody's talking. It's the weirdest thing.
But they're saying they think it's going to win the weekend.
I keep seeing new.
I don't even see trailers.
I keep seeing new trailers, but it's just but it's just being put out. Nobody's sharing any. It's really strange. Usually, I follow a bunch of film accounts. Critics and fans, whatever, that are always posting about movies.
Yes.
And they'll always put out and talk about new movies that they're super jazzed about. And for some reason, this one isn't getting picked up at all. It's weird. I don't get it.
Erica watched Adolescence.
Oh, was it amazing?
She said it was gut-wrenching.
Yes.
Dude, as soon as we watched it, the first thing I said, and I think we were just TikTok living at the time. I think the first thing out of my mouth was, it's going to win everything.
Yeah.
It's just going to win everything.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's difficult.
There's a lot of really interesting behind the scenes about how they did the camera too.
I love how they, it's just so interesting that, it's taking this really American problem, really. I mean, it's a problem we deal with here in this country. I mean, every single day. It maybe not kids, but the act. It's a big problem, we know. It's just interesting that it, I just never would have expected it to come out of the UK or anywhere else, really.
Well, maybe that's the only place where they can actually make content about it instead of it being shut down by whatever media companies govern everything here.
I loved it. It was brilliant. I'm sorry that it was uncomfortable, but that's kind of what makes it so great.
Do you remember who it was that said innovative instead of? No, they said innovative.
Innovative.
Who was that?
I don't remember.
Dale and I heard somebody say innovative once, years ago.
And we've never stopped.
And now
I don't know.
I think about it every time.
I don't know how it goes anymore. Fool me once.
Oh, yeah.
Won't get fooled again. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Mm-mm. No, fool me once, shame on you.
Yep.
Fool me twice, I won't get fooled again. I can't get that out of my mind.
It's so dumb.
I won't get fooled again. This is what just happened.
It's shame on me. That's
I know.
How it's supposed to go.
I know, but...
So anyway, Adolescence is innovative.
Yes, it
Who
is.
was it that poisoned our brain with that?
Yeah, I mean, it offered something fresh. As far as it being innovative, I don't know. Maybe. People have been doing the sort of one or the seamless sort of shot for a while now. So I don't know if it broke any sort of ground necessarily, but I think that it used the tools in a way that, yeah, I think it might have, definitely advanced that style.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But, they didn't create it. It's fucking great. Adolescence. Couldn't recommend it.
I've also been a fan of Stephen Graham for a really long time. Anytime he shows up in somebody's movies, like, I know him mostly from like Guy Ritchie movies and stuff, but every time he shows up, I'm always like, yeah, this guy.
Boardwalk
And
Empire.
Boardwalk Empire, he was amazing.
He was Al Capone.
I can't believe that he does such impeccable accent work. I feel like his whole career, I didn't really know that he was English, even though, Guy Ritchie movies, but
he's a fucking
it's so easy to
badass.
forget that he's English.
It's amazing how many badasses there are. Like, it's so weird because we're going through this really weird time in our society, and we're all feeling the tenseness or what do they call it? Tension,
The tensity.
the tensity, the tenserosity. But like, in the midst of all of that, we have some amazing music. We have some amazing sports. Like, athletes are just excelling. It's just crazy. And we have some incredible arts, really fucking great work going down, like Adolescence. Or if you're getting into the sci-fi world and you're talking about Severance, or just some really holy fuck, these guys taking these concepts that have been around for a while, or these ideas or styles that have been around for a while, and just advancing them in ways that are just really shockingly good.
Yeah, it's so strange because movies have become a place where you just get the same stories rehashed.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like, it's either sequels or reboots or fucking whatever, but it's like TV has turned into this place where they're trying to one-up each other all the time with their originality, I fucking love it.
So back to my point, Leo point. So Leo's movie is trending to win the weekend. If it wins the weekend, it's fucking great. That's fucking great. And if it's his masterpiece, meaning Paul Thomas Anderson, I support thee. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. That he would have a masterpiece in him after what he's done, a testament to his capabilities.
Yeah.
I wish he was kinder to art house film.
I'm also kind of...
Foz is here. What's up, Foz?
Oh, hey. That's nice.
Present Foz.
I also... I always get irritated when Leo's presence in a movie somehow overshadows the huge director. It always seems like it's like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and I just feel like that's kind of shitty to do.
It's been going on forever, and I hate it.
Huge names,
Yeah, it's the new. They say it forever though. It's the new. They've been saying it since it's the new fucking Brando. It's the new whatever. They've been saying it forever. It's the new Jimmy Stewart movie. But picture that's
Paul Thomas Anderson has always been really good
the
at
new Jack
doing...
Lemmon picture. It's a good one.
Listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Paul Thomas Anderson has always been really good at the ensemble movie, and so maybe that's why he's kind of even though he's had such incredible megastars in his movie, they're always part of the ensemble. I guess he's departed from that recently. Inherent Vice was definitely a Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah. We'll see what happened. Like you said, kindly DiCaprio brought up Jeremy Sisto, bringing up my Clueless audition. And that feels like to me a signal from him. To me. It does. It just feels like one. Now, I haven't read the context of it or saw the context of it.
Why would he bring that up if you hadn't brought it up first?
And she said that he said, my friend, which that could be a way of him sort of in a way, which is weird because you could just reach out to me. But I think people are afraid to talk to me. I am this thing that people are afraid of from Hollywood. I really am. We'll see if this breaks down. We'll see what happens.
This is the thing that's so irritating to me, and it always has been. And I don't know why. I'm not really the most bold person. I'm not socially gregarious or anything. But every time anybody has ever, I've had friends that ask for each other for advice about how they really like the boy and they really want to talk to them and they don't know what to do. I'm just call them. Okay, you're thinking of them. You want to talk to them. Just fucking call them. It's not a big deal. And I feel like this continues all the way through adulthood.
Well, that's because
everybody's
you're totally
just
fine
so
with rejection. Most people,
yes,
most people are their fear, the pit in their stomach is they call and they're like, hi, Angela. So I've been noticing you from afar and what?
Oh,
goodbye.
No.
Click.
It's never in the, I'm never, no, this is never the context of you don't know the person. Because that's fucking weird.
Okay, I went there, but okay. Let me call
You
back.
guys have
Hi,
like
Angela,
a really
it's me,
close
Dale,
bond.
you know, the guy at the water cooler.
No, it's just you guys have had a really close bond. There's no reason why either of you shouldn't just be like, hey, what's up? Like you could totally pick up where you left off.
Me and Jeremy Sisto?
Yes.
Oh, I fucking love that guy. You know, I love him. There's no doubt he'd love me. And I think all the people who have ever loved me would love me just the same if they would just pick up the fucking phone and be like, hey, Dale, what's going on? I've never changed. I mean, I've only become a better version of myself every year that goes by. I just become better.
Well, you have changed. You have changed.
Yeah, no, but not to the extent. Personality-wise, not that much.
No, I know. But I have seen the difference in you when you started to really embody the no asshole rule, where you will no longer put up with people who mistreat you.
But I think that's more congruent with the guy I was when I got to Hollywood. When I got to Hollywood, I was like, hey, I'm fucking, you know, I'm with the best because I am the best, you know, that kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Not from an arrogant standpoint, but from a confidence, just like I can do this.
You got to have that, dude.
There's
no way that
you can't show up and be like, I'm weak and meek. I've got to show up and be like, I'm fucking
I
strong
belong here.
and I'm powerful and I can make this happen and I'm creative and I belong.
Yeah.
Anyway, that Jeremy Sisto alluded to that moment, told me two things, especially if he said friend. I read it. I'm not ready to talk yet, but I liked it.
Okay, well, that was in July, so maybe he's ready to talk now, and you should just reach out and be like, what's up, bro?
I don't have his number. I want to send him, hey, RD, I think Jeremy might have read my book and maybe even liked it because I'm obviously kind to him in the book, even though it was very easy to be kind to him. It wasn't hard to be kind to Jeremy Sisto. He's a fucking good guy. Anyway, whatever. I don't care. I don't even care. I really don't care what happens. I mean,
you should care.
I feel good. I just feel good. You know why? Because when I wrote this book, I wanted to touch all of them the way they touched me. And I feel like, you know, maybe I achieved that at some level at least. But that was really a part of my objective was in this memoir. And I think it's a really great objective for writing memoirs in general, you know? Like, I want them to feel how I felt. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you pulled that off for sure. I think you should just...
Jeremy Wright said, this Jeremy liked your book. That's awesome.
So I'm always eager to find what Damon Child brings to the chat.
Yes.
Because they're, you know, like tally-ho, like that kind of shit just makes me laugh so much. Today, Damon Child showed up and said, good evening, one, and in a very real sense, all. Can anyone tell me what in the fuck is going on in America right now?
Oh, my God.
No, nobody can. Nobody can tell you.
Is there something new? Has something new happened?
Yes, so many things.
Really?
Yes.
What?
I'm
not paying attention. I've been
You're
busy.
not paying attention, and that is why...
What happened?
Everything seems fine.
What happened?
No, nothing happened. Things are happening. It is like a very steady, very clear descent down.
We're pointed downward?
Yep. We are witnessing the collapse of several normalcy institutions. And it's not like anything has actually like happened. It's just happening.
Well, I mean, so this is like the general, like, you know, malaise that we're in.
I remember several years ago, there was a guy who was writing, he wrote this blog where he was like trying to educate people who were in countries who were beginning their descent into collapse. He was like, having been living in a country where we have experienced collapse, I want to let you guys know what it's like. And he shared all of these pictures where it's like he would have like his friends over for dinner and they would have a really nice time and they would leave his apartment, and on the way to his apartment it would be like a bus crash and emergency vehicles weren't coming fast enough and everything, like something was on fire and something, and then they would go to this club and they would all dance and have a really great time. And on the way back, there would be like some horrific thing on the news. He was like, what you'll experience is that all of these like horrific events will happen in between, like your really super normal, happy, like everything's normal life. And then you'll just sort of begin to notice that those horrific events happen a little bit more frequently, or they happen like a little closer to home. And that makes you a little bit more uncomfortable. And this is just what happens when you live like in a privileged way in a society that is experiencing the beginning of collapse. And so these things are just happening like It's not exactly healthy that we're all aware of everything that's happening in the news, which is why I don't leap to the chance of sharing it with you.
It'd be better if we just like woke up and went, "Oh my God!" Like when all of a sudden like the tanks roll in.
Well, I mean, like not for nothing, but like there's no reason why a disaster that happens several states away should make me feel super upset. Like it doesn't affect me. I can't do anything. Like that's the worst part is like you feel super upset about a tragedy that happens far away from your home. You can't do anything about it. It's really gives you a sense of like sadness and dread that you like are incapable of helping the situation. And so ultimately, I don't feel like it's not like avoidant to just like tune the stuff out that doesn't directly affect you. I think that this is a time where everybody, if you want to make a difference in how everything is awful, you can focus on what it is that you're capable of doing, the change you're capable of making, where you live, with your neighbors in your community. That's the only thing you're ever going to be able to control.
Yeah.
But like what happens in fucking Washington or New York or fucking even LA, like I can't do anything about that. You know?
Yep.
So it's like, why even just consume the bad news of it? It just, you end up like doom scrolling, you know?
Truly. Cosmic Urgency is doing everything he can to make the Jeremy Sisto comment bad for me.
Oh, okay.
He said that you bombed the audition and he was embarrassed to go in for his after vouching for you. Well, he wouldn't be speaking about me then because he got me the audition after he got the role.
Right.
He was already cast.
He had a relationship with them. Yeah, otherwise, he wouldn't have recommended you for an audition.
So either his memory,
it couldn't have been you.
Fails him.
Because that's the sequence.
That wasn't
of things.
me.
And it wouldn't be that his memory is false because a feeling of embarrassment would be the thing that sticks in the memory. So he must be talking about something else.
He was 100% not embarrassed at all. From what I could get.
Why would he be?
And there was like there was zero effect on our relationship. It was like,
yeah, it's also like if you recommend somebody for an interview or something and they bomb it, that doesn't look bad on you. It doesn't like.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was being kind and he never told me that I ruined something for him, but he got the role.
But not in the context of acting and people who do casting or producers or something. Nobody is ever going to bring that up. Like they're just going to be like, also, people bomb auditions all the time. It's not a big fucking deal.
There was other context also. Like the other context was that they couldn't find anybody. They were just struggling to cast the role. So I was just more of like somebody that they threw in or that he threw in. So it wasn't like he was like, hey, why don't you check out my friend? He's a really good actor. So he vouched for me as an actor. And then I showed up and I was not.
But again, like everybody who does this work knows that you could be a really good actor and suck at auditions. This is just a truth of like, I think it's super common. Jeremy it's like being a really good student and failing the test because you're bad at testing.
Yeah, Jeremy says that he thinks that I'm being hard on my own performance in Dawn's Plum. I'm not. You guys have not seen the close-ups. And the reason that you did not see the close-ups
because you edited them out.
They should not be seen. It's unwatchable stuff, man. No, I blew my performance on the one side of it. Like, you're not wrong in that, like, the stuff that I got, I did well, particularly me falling to the ground and then dealing with getting back up. And I was lucky I didn't get like wiped out on Victory Boulevard, I should say, as I stumbled out.
Oh my God, Dale. Delicatessen is so amazing.
What?
I did leave a comment last night on the New Heights promo video saying, you should ask Leo about him building a hotel in Israel, his diamond foundry in Spain, and Dawn's Plum.
That's amazing.
It's true. They should. More people should ask him that. I mean,
that's
why he doesn't do regular press, because he has to be very controlled about what they talk about. There's too many scandals.
God, it's fucking heartbreaking for me though. Like, why does that fucker have to get into everything? Like,
he doesn't get into everything.
That was my Jason Kelsey. That was my fucking Jason Kelsey. Not his. He doesn't like the Philadelphia Eagles. He doesn't give a fuck about the Chiefs. He should just leave some things alone.
Does he like football?
No. He likes basketball. He loves basketball. He does not like football.
Go on the basketball podcast.
Football. Exactly. Why are you fucking with my Jason Kelsey? I don't understand.
That's really cute.
Tanner's here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, dude, this is getting groovy.
Okay, Foz said, I will leave my question and then I need to sleep. Okay, here's the question.
Okay.
Do you think that the 3 leaked HR complaints about the Lively v. Baldoni
Okay.
were real. No one is talking about them much anymore.
I think they were probably real.
I think they're probably real.
Yeah, I think they're probably not being talked about because they don't want to talk about them.
That's
and
right.
Lively and her group are not publicizing their moves or the evidence one way or another. So
I have these saved if you want to talk about them.
which?
The HR complaints, the alleged HR complaints.
Do you want to pull them out? You want to pull them out? Like Foz can start something. She can come back
Yeah,
and
so check this
pick
out.
it up. Pick
Okay,
it up
this
when
is
she
for
gets
Future
up.
Fuzz. These are, there's 3 of them. I'm just going to go and read
Tanya's
them.
in love with The Long Walk, by the way. He's like, it's so good.
Oh my God.
He's reading it. He got a
Oh,
bunch.
the book?
He
Yes.
got like three or four Bachman
Dude, it's a
books.
fucking page turner, man. I love that book. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm reading it the 3rd time right now. Okay, so here are the HR complaints, alleged HR complaints. These apparently were leaked. Nobody knows. The reason why I think that they're real is because there's a lot of identifying information redacted. But I don't know who took the complaint because it was really, there's a Sony email, but they redacted the name. What's weird is that the reason why these are in question, I think, is because Wayfair never gave Blake Lively a way to make a formal complaint. But then there's text messages that we know about that seem to be true, where it was internal text messages between Wayfair people talking about how somebody on the crew wanted to make a HR complaint, I guess for ageism or something.
Yeah.
So there must have been some sort of HR process for these people to complain because they're talking about it. Anyway, we don't know. Here's the first one. Summary of complaint. Complainant states she became uncomfortable with Justin Baldoni yesterday while filming. She states Mr. Baldoni put his bare hands on her butt
Oh yeah.
and said he was trying to help with her posture. Complainant immediately voiced her displeasure with being touched on an intimate part of her body, and Mr. Baldoni responded with, "It's fine, I'm totally hot for my wife," in a dismissive tone. Complainant,
that's SA, isn't it?
yeah, I guess.
Really,
Yes.
SH would be.
No, it's
actually,
SA. I think that it's just, I don't think that anybody is being accused of SA in this case.
I'm just saying, but that is.
Yes.
Like that allegation.
I believe so.
Would
Here,
be-
it continues.
Like if somebody touched my butt, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And said, "It's fine. Don't worry. I'm hot for my wife.
Yeah.
I'm totally hot for my wife," in a dismissive tone. Complainant relayed to Mr. Baldoni that it did not matter what his relationship with his spouse was like, that he did not have permission to touch her inappropriately. Baldoni then responded, "Oh no, better go see HR," to which complainant replied, "I will." Approximately 3 hours later, Baldoni approached complainant and stated he was sorry they got off on the wrong foot. Complainant stated she replied, you got off all right, but it had nothing to do with your feet," and walked away from Baldoni. See, it's just a little incredulous. Complainant's agent provided text messages from complainant, including one sent approximately 18 minutes after the incident, wherein complainant said, complainant said, "Justin Baldoni just literally grabbed my ass in front of the cameras. I want to talk to someone at Sony like now." Okay. I don't know if this is true.
I don't know either. Who knows?
This next one is just a little longer. Summary of complaint. Note, this is a summary of 3 reports filed by complainant. During the first week of filming, it ends with us. Complainant noted several unsettling experiences with her collaborator, boss, and director, Justin Baldoni. Okay, so we know that it's someone who acted, right? Collaborator, boss, and director.
Yeah, that would.
Or no, I mean, it could be somebody on the crew, right? No. Okay. I'm going to stop figuring out who it is.
Yeah.
On redacted, complainant was in her car with driver, redacted. Okay, I know the story. And Mr. Baldoni, he started talking about how he had been severely addicted to pornography and had had sexual encounters where he didn't take no for an answer or did not receive consent. Those are quotes when asked for it, but he did not let that stop him.
Why would that happen? Why would you have that conversation? How does that come up?
At this time, Redacted's driver pulled over and insisted Mr. Baldoni exit the vehicle. She then advised Redacted that her rear-facing dash camera had recorded the incident in its entirety. So I suppose we'll find out if this is true or not. If it's recorded. On Redacted, Baldoni followed complainant to her trailer and was insisting that he had messages for her from her deceased father. When complainant declined, Baldoni became hostile and stated, "I thought you loved your dad." He then reappeared on set and advised the multiple crew and talent present that complainant must be dealing with hormones. On Redacted, complainant was filming a scene that was scripted to have her in a hospital gown. At a time when complainant was on set dressed in the gown and ready to film, Baldoni stopped filming to relay to complainant that she should be nude in the scene. She stated it was not written nor planned that way, was not included in the nudity rider, and that the intimacy coordinator was not present. Baldoni continued to pressure complainant to film nude, stating that his wife had ripped her clothes off during childbirth. Note, this investigator viewed photos of both Baldoni's children's births, and his wife was not nude. She wore a black sports bra and had her lower half covered at the time photos were taken after the births. At this time, Baldoni stated complainant was holding up filming and feeling pressured by her superior. Complainant agreed to be nude with a modest strip over her genitals. As complainant disrobed, she asked Mr. Baldoni to turn the monitors off so that her naked butt wouldn't be broadcast to the cast and crew. He turned them off, then asked complainant to look at a script note. While she was looking at it, Baldoni quickly flipped the monitors back on. Complainant then realized she was being broadcast nearly nude to all the set monitors and every crew phone and iPad that was synced in. She requested a blanket and was ignored. She addressed Baldoni directly and said, "Get me something to cover myself," in a raised tone of voice. Complainant's assistant then walked on set and complainant, in tears, yelled at her, "Please cover me." An assistant threw her coat over complainant. At this time, a man complainant did not recognize came on set, and Baldoni stated this was his friend and would be playing the doctor. Complainant, being nearly nude and already vulnerable, did not want the stranger between her bare legs up in stirrups and where he could clearly see her butt. Baldoni sighed and rolled his eyes and yelled, "Hold on, everyone. Let's see if blank wants to hold up filming again." Feeling extremely uncomfortable, complainant finished filming the scene with Baldoni's friend despite her misgivings. Okay. So we know that that's supposed to be about Lively. Last one. Summary of complaint. Complainant is clearly traumatized. In her verbal account of incident, director Justin Baldoni approached complainant and asked her to speak privately. He asked complainant if she has ever had an orgasm on camera, in quotes.
So this has got to be, right? Young Lily.
I guess it's supposed to be young Lily. Yeah. Isabella Ferrer. Isabella Ferrer. Okay.
Isabella Ferrer.
She asked why this is necessary to know since a climax is not scripted in the scene. Baldoni then leans close to complainant's face and whispered, "I think we should go ahead and add it in. Show me what you got." Complainant did not feel she had the authority to decline. Complainant told Baldoni she did not want to do the scene. He told her she couldn't hold up filming by refusing. Complainant began improvising the scene, making what she perceived to be noises of a sexual nature. Baldoni placed either of his hands on complainant's outer thighs and stated, "Come on, you can do better than that." Baldoni's face was so close to complainant's that she could feel his breath causing her face to mist up. Baldoni then closed his eyes for several minutes and stated, "I'm allowed to say this because my wife knows what I think about a good climax." Oh my God. And winks at complainant, then said, "You know how hot this is, right?" Then Baldoni asked complainant to practice the scene again. This time, practice is in quotes. This time, Baldoni positioned himself only inches from complainant, and complainant stated she needed a restroom break. Baldoni kept his hands on her outer thighs, virtually locking her in place in a very intimate embrace. She relayed complainant's redacted, then arrived on set, and complainant waved her over, at which point Baldoni broke the embrace. Complainant states he was so close to her for so long, his breath on her face necessitated her makeup needing to be redone. See, that's so much more graphic than Lively's.
He melted her makeup on her face? It seems a little, I don't know, there's a lot of hyperbole in there.
Yeah. You know? I know. There's I think that there's so much fake shit going on. Like, do you remember right after the Coldplay concert, cheaters were exposed? Somebody put out a press release from the dude,
from the CEO,
and it was totally fake.
It was absolutely not.
And it seems like such a strange thing for somebody to do because they're not actually going to benefit from anybody engaging in that or sharing it or something. Like, they weren't identified. It was just somebody pranking. And I just feel like some of this stuff sounds like this. Like, it sounds like stuff it's true enough. Like, there's things that Baldoni did that he admits to. There's other things that Lively alleges that he did. But this seems so much more elaborated on and a lot more extreme. However, all of these say that there were recordings. One person said that he grabbed her ass on camera. Another one of these says that he said these things with a rear-facing dash cam on him.
But this is why these become a little less credible, because you'd think that evidence would be talked about more than once by now.
Well, if Lively has this evidence, if this is true and Lively has this evidence, she wouldn't be putting it out. She would be waiting for trial.
You would think these guys would be would know that they're cooked. If this
I
evidence
think that
exists.
they already know that they're cooked. I think that everything that we're seeing Baldoni's side do is from a place of knowing they're cooked. They're already cooked.
Renata is saying that, these are old, and it's true. They've been around since April. You're right. We read them live when they dropped. Foz actually brought them up as a...
Yeah. Do you think that the 3 leaked HR complaints were real? No one is talking about them much anymore.
Yeah, the idea that they've gone away, and it's true. We really aren't speaking about them, and they're really explosive.
I think the reason why nobody's talking about them is because they can't be corroborated or
Well, I guess that's not true, because we were talking about Elizabeth Farrar and the conversation around her. Isabella, Farrar, and the conversation around her was about obviously the scene, the discomfort of the scene, and always referenced are some of those comments that we just heard whenever it comes up. So it does get talked about. The one thing that we don't ever hear about is the hands on the ass. I've never heard of that again. And that's and if that's on camera, dude, wow.
He said he was helping her with her posture. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that anybody would say...
I can't just go and help people with their posture by touching, areas that would be considered offensive and sensitive.
As a woman who's been in situations where dudes are trying to pass off their touchiness for something else, usually it's oh, I was just trying to get past you. How if you ever are trying to move through a crowd,
yeah,
all the dudes will touch the dudes on their shoulders, right? They'll touch the back of their shoulders, hey bro, can I get through? Trying to wedge your way through.
Yeah.
But with women, they'll touch the small of their back or something, or their fucking hips.
Yeah, right on their hips.
It's the worst.
It's fucked
They touch them differently.
They do.
So usually it's in the context of that. If she's hey, you grabbed my ass, he'd be oh, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get past you or something. He wouldn't say, I'm trying to fix your posture. That makes no sense.
That gif that always goes around, a girl with the drinking dentist chair, and she's sitting there, and then the other girl walks by and smacks her butt, and then she turns around and just belts her.
Yeah, that video is at one of those bars in Tijuana or something where you can get a woman that works there who's all busty will straddle you and dump alcohol down your neck. Yeah.
It's an amazing video because it tells a whole story instantly. It's well, I'm not your fucking, what do you think I am?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Anyway, very interesting.
I just feel here's the thing that's so funny though is we don't talk about this anymore because it doesn't seem, we're not sure if it's true. However, if these were negative stories about Blake Lively, they'd still be fucking running with it.
And if there were video that, implicated her in anything, we'd be seeing it on a loop.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the slow dancing, they tried to use that as I can't believe they tried to use that. I mean, these fucking guys, man. The guy's all up in her shit. He shot this extremely long scene for a 2-second MOS shot clip in a fucking montage.
I know.
And they thought that they were going to pull one over on us. I think this is what I'm most excited about. And let me just get to the main story for a second, and before we slide into the Diddy story that I'm excited to talk about too. I think that maybe all these fucking giant media companies and people have mistaken people's inaction for stupidity or being stupid or being dense or being, whatever, dim. But I think they're really wrong. I think people are paying attention. They know what's happening and they're waiting for what moves they can make to make them. They're not going to go seek them.
What's the context of this?
The context, I just brought up the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Oh,
I just kind of parlayed into Jimmy Kimmel as this idea. When you see, just the outpouring, he's now had the highest ratings he's had in 10 years in this return, which isn't necessarily unexpected. We expected to see a boost. I mean, certainly there was enough hype for it. And Sinclair was out of the picture. So if Sinclair was in, it would have been even bigger. Sinclair Broadcasting. He would have broke records even longer than a decade ago. But what we see in that isn't a big outpouring love for Jimmy Kimmel. What we see in all of this and the interest in him is this idea and love for our First Amendment rights, for when people can see blatantly with their own eyes interference by the FCC and the President of the United States. Donald Trump, by the way, upon the reinstatement of Kimmel's show, vowed to sue ABC again and cited that he got $16 million the first time, and this one seems like a far more lucrative opportunity for him.
So they're just going to take that straight to the court.
He's literally like extorting.
This is extortion.
He's publicly extorting from the highest office of the land.
Oh my God, I know.
Listen, dude, public broadcasting.
So this
company.
is what I mean when you're like, what do you mean? What's happening? What changed? Like, I'm like, this is all. It's just we're just like past the realm of like insanity, and now it's just
it's the most.
Now it's just
thing.
a fucking dreamscape of like, we're just in a completely different country. We've never.
So I think the people though, I think the fucking hoodwinkers, the bamboozlers, I think they're all going to get they're going to get a really crude wake up, and it's coming soon. And I don't think like guys like DiCaprio are exempt from this. And I hope very much that DiCaprio's film does well if it's the film they all say it is with the critics. But he, the man, people are figuring this guy out. They know what he is. And I actually am encouraged by the concept that people can look at him and go, "You're a fucking fraud," and then go and watch the movie. Because why wouldn't they? What do they have? Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like another fucking fraud they don't have to fucking like him.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about him. They don't have to be concerned about whether or not he's a good person or a bad person to go and want to fucking enjoy a badass movie by one of the great filmmakers of our time. Do you know what I mean? So I find those things wildly encouraging. Like, I just see that as all of these things as encouraging, because when you look at what we need in order to create any kind of change is some of that balance. Because if you take everything away, if you collapse everything, it's anarchy, it's chaos, it's madness. But if everything still can remain in some form supported, right, while at the same time scrutinized and understood and sort of categorized, I don't know how else to put it, but then I think there's actual progress in that. Like, maybe people can start to learn that they don't have to become emotionally vested in anything or anyone in order to be a part of it.
I also think that people should start trying to reorient themselves to think creatively about what could be coming next, because I don't think that there's any going back. Like, I think that so many things have been changed.
Oh no, there's no going back. Yeah.
So like, if you're like, oh, I wish things would go back to normal in whatever context you're thinking of, in American society or fucking politics or whatever.
But we don't want them to go back to normal, because to normal is where we ended up.
That's true.
This is how we got here.
I think we all just need to start.
What we do want is the shakeup, and we see it happening.
Yeah.
But where my encouragement, where I'm feeling so encouraged, is that I feel like people are going to take advantage of the people, the masses, the voters, the voices. The majority is going to take up the cause for what's right. Look, when you have Ted Cruz, when you have some people like fucking people like me, or people like, I can't remember who just did it. I think it was fucking what's his name from California, Governor Newsom. Yeah. So I think he came out and said, I have to agree with Ted Cruz. Like, if you can when you start seeing these kinds of things, these become major, I think they become major steps forward, because when you see that there is a commonality, a common ground around overstepping the boundaries of government, right? That gives me hope. That gives me hope. If there's literally an extremist as Ted Cruz is, I mean, this guy is as far right as you can really get, right?
He's a different breed. Because he doesn't do anything with sincerity. He's one of these people that's like one of the most dangerous people.
I don't want to fall down that hole.
Like, he literally doesn't have any. Like, there is absolutely nothing that he supports or disapproves of that isn't in pursuit of an agenda.
Yeah.
That he doesn't reveal to people. Like, he's really one of the worst kinds, because he doesn't actually genuinely believe in anything. He's one of these he comes from he's like a debate team's monster.
Yeah.
It's just I don't trust anything he says.
Well, I don't either, and that's what makes it so incredible that he could see that what was happening with Jimmy Kimmel and the way in which the government itself was acting, not the opinions. And that was that's the important thing. Like, hate Jimmy Kimmel, hate him. You know what I mean? Don't like Blake Lively. Don't like her. You don't have to like her. Nobody's saying, hey, sit down and love Blake Lively. What people are saying is, can you look at things rationally so that we can figure out who's the problem and who is not the problem? so we can know, so we can progress, so we can together decide that we're not going to tolerate people who are the problem. Whether or not we like somebody or not, you can't go beat up on somebody I don't like because I don't like bullying, period. Doesn't matter who it is, as an example. Anyway, so some things are those are encouraging things. You gotta imagine Donald Trump is just boiling inside, knowing that the ratings are through the roof. If there's anything that he talks about is the fucking ratings. It's all about the ratings. This fucking ultimate failure of everything. And once again, failing big, but
he's
failing
such a
up.
Diva.
He's a diva, yeah.
He only cares about like people paying attention to him. It's such like.
Well,
he really did belong on the drag circuit or something. Like he missed his calling in life or something. He's just supposed to be like this like sassy hater guy who's like on, judging panels and stuff.
No, I think he just got into trouble with the law and he had to figure a way out of it. And the best way to do that was to run for president.
Exactly.
And it worked. It worked twice for him, man. The guy's like avoided everything. He's avoided all accountability. And so, all you got to do now, if it's like he's put the model down for us now. All we have to do is run for, when we're in trouble, we'll be like, oh, I'm running for Congress. Just work on it. Never know. Might work out for you too. Can I move on to the next story?
Yeah, sure.
It's the craziest story because Sean Diddy Combs is getting a bunch of praise from his fellow inmates because he has put together basically a seminar. The seminar it's even got a name. It's called Free Game with Diddy. And it is basically a business seminar. It's teaching inmates how to be great at business. And it is probably hard to argue that he's not good at business, even if he had to make a few things happen to get there. But here are some of the things that they're saying. And I'm going to kind of just compare this to what I know. I was in the self-help industry.
This is fascinating.
I did it for years and I studied the stuff. I was a big fan of it. I still really am, even if I'm not practicing.
So do you think he's going to he's developing something he's going to parlay? Like he's going to be like a TV show host or something? This
is just great. It's going
to be like the new Shark Tank. It's going to be this fucking ex-con teaching people how to do business.
Yeah, exactly. So check it out.
That's horrible. What a nightmare.
Arturo Santiago writes, because of this class, I have a purpose, something to look forward to every day. Douglas Welch says he has showed us that it is the little adjustments to our everyday lives that add up to big change. Wellington Wellington, my apologies. Explains, Mr. Combs teaches us about how chasing the easy money is the wrong way to achieve greatness. Didier Hios Galinda.
He's like, you don't want to just abuse one woman. You want to make sure that you abuse a wide swath of them.
I got to tell you, man, I agree with this stuff, like chasing the easy money.
Okay, I know, but like...
Hey, listen, whatever. I'm just telling, hey, this person whose name is unpronounceable by me, but is obviously a very beautiful name when you look at it. It's gorgeous. Recalls, everybody was motivated for the lesson. In my case, particularly, it had very much impact. Quentin Davis notes, the free game class with Mr. Combs has affected me in a good way and has impacted me because I've learned many things about how to create a successful plan, and that plan has to be realistic.
Okay.
Charles Scruggs says, I was really appreciative to receive some knowledge to sort of take back to the real world and not have to think about doing something illegal. He taught me to come up with a plan. And I got to tell you, coming up with a plan is like, I know that sounds stupid. Like, it sounds easy. It sounds rudimentary.
No, it's hard.
It is
it's the hardest part.
It's one of the biggest things you got to do first. If you don't have a fucking plan, if you don't have a plan to write your book, if you don't have a plan to write your novel, if you don't have a plan to write your fucking screenplay, make your movie or whatever, if you're showing up without a plan.
If you don't have a plan to do your crimes, you might end up getting in trouble.
I mean, this too. Not that we would in any way condone such things. Corey Batchelor writes, the class has given me something to look forward to doing while being incarcerated. And now I am currently beginning to study on a new business venture and coming up with a plan so when I get released, I can move forward with it and live a positive life. Okay? I mean, I understand what's going on here. I understand he's getting these notes. Can you believe this shit? It cracks me up. Raymond Castillo says, Diddy saved me. And says he witnessed he witnessed Diddy do magical things behind bars with limited resources. He says, in a place of segregation, I have seen Mr. Combs bring unity to all races and ethnic groups, no matter the background, as a unified front.
Yeah, okay, cool. So,
that's called celebrity, bud.
Yeah.
I got some news for you, buddy. That's called Everybody Wants to Sit with the Celebrity. Give me a picture.
It just goes to show, dude, like, it's super easy to start a cult. You just have to start giving somebody good advice, and then you can, like, own them a little.
Guilty.
Then they're loyal to you, and then you can ask them to do terrible things.
Guilty Angel just says, it was so funny, but every time I read when I looked over, this was the look on your face the whole time. You were like...
I know. Well, because, like, okay, so here's the way that he used to honeypot people. I mean, that's a different thing, but, like, he used to try and he would try and ensnare people into his, like, criminal, exploitation web by offering them record deals, right? Or offering them mentorship, offering them access to him and all the rest of his celebrity friends. Like, these are the same sorts of manipulation tactics that people, real powerful manipulators, know exactly what it is you want, and they know how to promise it to you without actually delivering anything and convincing you that you're going to get it. So I just feel like it's just too easy for a guy like this to operate in prison, where these people are expecting to be released, and they're obviously in trouble because they had some sort of, like, they're poor and they did crimes to help ease their suffering. And so he's just exploiting them. That's all it is. He's just fucking exploiting these people. Like, fine, give some advice. I hope that he's released for the only reason that he stops manipulating these men. Because I know that's what it is.
Hey, listen, the guy's,
like, a cult
never
leader
going to get my vote.
A cult leader can give good advice on sometimes too. They're still they're still manipulating people and trapping them and keeping them away from their families.
I'll tell you this though, and this is some, as far as, like, sort of what I've witnessed in my life. When you have access to some people who have achieved the kinds of things that Diddy has achieved, when you're able to hang out with people, when you're able to roll with a black belt from Brazil.
Yeah, he's on a level,
It's just when you get, it's not just that he's on a level. When you get exposed to that, it's almost like it is in some way a magnet that draws out from you these great qualities in yourself. Like, what they're experiencing is it's a wonderful sensation. It's why they talk. It's interesting that one of the big sort of pointers that these big gurus give is about the company you keep, and not so much necessarily about whether or not they're good or bad people according to whatever moral compass you're working with, but rather that they're sort of achieving the things you want to achieve.
This would be fine coming from somebody who used these powers of influence and wisdom for good and not evil. But repeatedly throughout his life, he has manipulated people and destroyed them with these same tactics.
I know, but I'm talking about.
So I'm just stay the fuck away from these poor men who don't deserve to be drawn into your web.
I don't agree with you. I think they're helping him. Like, this is what I like about. Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that access to him, who had created and sort of thrived at this extremely high level, where whatever you want to talk about when it comes to Diddy and some of the shit he did, which is obviously awful, and this guy is just no human being I would ever want to know. He also did expose himself to all these really great and had access to all this really great education, dude. Like, it's just the way it is. It doesn't change who he is, but it does change. And who he is doesn't change what he knows. And so when he brings what he knows to a place like that, where there are people in there who are like, hey man, I need to fucking get my shit straight because this sucks. I'm not doing this again. And it's interesting because one of the comments we're talking about, hey, he's teaching me how I can go make a fucking plan. And if I make a plan, maybe I can make a plan that doesn't have to involve me criming, as a means to, as an end means. So it's fucking fantastic, I think. It's absolutely fantastic. It doesn't matter that he has an ulterior motive. It doesn't matter if...
No, this is true. Yeah.
Like, I would rather that the things that he's using for his benefit are going to benefit others than what he was normally doing, which is fucking depriving others of their fucking life.
Well, I just really hope that he's not farming new, crime,
But he is going to come out with a fucking,
here's the thing.
A 6 cassette.
I know, but let me finish.
Or no, a 12 cassette or 30-day program.
Oh my God, I know.
For every day.
He's going to start farming this for sure. Yeah. But here's the thing: is that because he was so compromised, right, criminally, he's fucking huge, high profile,
morally compromised.
No.
Oh,
Like
okay.
in the legal system.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that all of his other co-conspirators are not going to work with him anymore. So now that he's in prison, I'm just hoping that he's not trying to like build a new army of people who are going to be loyal to him because he gave them good business advice and helped them see the world differently. So that now when they get out of prison, they're going to like call him up, or he's inviting them to come and find him and then work with him or something. And then he's got this whole new crime syndicate. You know?
Well, I got some bad news for you, because these guys like Diddy, it's the money that follows people. He still make a rich, bro. They didn't get his fortune.
I know.
I know he's going to take big hits and all this other stuff. This guy's got money stashed in every corner of the planet, and he's going to come out, and people are going to follow that money. He's going to have all the support he needs. He doesn't need a bunch of inmates at his federal prison to form. This isn't the Joker, forming his little army in jail. This is a guy who already has established channels, many of which will stand erect at his upon his release. This guy is not gonna, when you say that, you say, I think a lot of the public figures, the people who would have once perhaps called him a friend, but at least who would certainly have showed up to his parties, or you know what I mean, even been seen in public with him at basketball games and the like. That's over for him.
Yeah,
he's never going to see that again.
For sure.
Yeah, not with those people. There'll be some, but he is certainly going to have an intact chain. Not intact. Maybe he's got to fill holes, but he's still got a machine with which to work, and that's a part of why he's teaching this. I mean, he's going to come out with this product. This fucking he gave it a name. It's got a name. I mean, this is what he does.
What do you call it again?
Free game. Call it Free Game, I think. I don't know. I changed the channel.
Free Game?
Free Game, yeah.
With Diddy.
Free Game with Diddy.
Oh my God. Well, he's a
fucking horrible human being.
He's like Johnny Rebrand. All the time he's like rebranding. He's like picking a new name for
he's
himself.
He's probably sitting there like, I'm going to become a fucking self-help guru.
Everybody thought it was like cute that he was just like, oh, he's just reinventing himself creatively. And I'm like, no, those are motherfucking aliases. Like when somebody has like a long rap sheet for crimes, and it'd be like, AKA this name, AKA this name, That's what he's doing. So he's doing it again with his fucking business because he can't go back to doing the shit he used to do. He's compromised.
It's going to be a very different life for him in a big way, obviously, for sure.
Jeremy Wright said that America is getting late in seasons the writers are really reaching. The show's about to be canceled.
Yeah, dude.
The writers are really reaching.
Yeah, and the strike here didn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true though. America is definitely a steaming hot pile of shit.
Is this like the equivalent of like the awkward teenage years for a nation? Because America's so young, relatively?
Perhaps. I don't know. I mean, I know that as we sit here and swirl about ideas around an apocalyptic event here in America, everyone in Europe is like, oh, stop. Or even fascism, they're like, oh, this is your first round with fascism.
Oh, it's your first time?
Yeah, they're like
cute.
sitting there like eating the yogurt going. Yep, no, we've seen that before.
Oh, yeah,
that's
how
bad.
that goes, yeah.
That's bad. Guys.
Oh, I remember that face.
You don't want that. You don't want that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember this. Oh, no, this is bad. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, it lasts a lot longer.
They're going to
than
be
you
sewing
think.
things on your coat in no time.
That stings for a lot longer than you think it would. Okay, I'm Bobo said, I have a feeling winter is going to hit hard.
Yeah. I think, something wicked this way comes.
I was actually really surprised. Isn't it supposed to be hurricane season already? No, that's November. When's hurricane season?
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't the Philippines just get whack-a-dooed with
they got
typhoon?
huge typhoons. But I thought we were like, did we like completely miss?
Well, there was that big monster that barely missed us, right?
Yeah, well, that didn't.
Hey, so whatever,
just caused some
mild
flooding.
hurricane. Look at us, we're sitting around going, what the fuck, man?
I know. Well, also, isn't there?
Where's my hurricane?
Was there a bad tornado season this year, or did it skip us?
I don't know. No, I mean, it started out terrible.
Yeah, but then, like, what happened?
I don't know. I haven't been watching.
Maybe we're gonna have a harsh winter. I don't know. We had some really, really loud thunderstorms here this year, but it wasn't like extreme winds or anything.
Hanada is dropping some stuff I don't know shit about. She said, "Oh, compared to Latin America and Europe, the U.S. is in Alexis de Tocqueville. I don't know this.
Tocqueville?
Tocqueville. Is that what it's called? Tocqueville?
No, I don't know. I'm not there.
Tocqueville. You're too smart for me. You know that?
Tanner said, "I'll be here tonight. No work. Missing the Mets to watch my favorite people."
That's so fucking
Don't miss
great.
the Mets.
Well, the Mets are also like they've been tough on their fans. Damn it.
Oh, Cosmic Urgency said, "I see one battle after another ads a lot on YouTube, and all the film news pages I follow are covering it. So I don't know what you guys are talking about." What I was saying was that I'm seeing that too, but usually there's a lot more chatter from people who aren't like blue checks on Twitter, who are just like film fans, and they're not talking about it. I don't know. I just feel like they're...
Well, I'm on Our Entertainment, Our Movies, those subs, and...
Are they talking about it?
And I usually see like what's tracking in those subs, and I just today, it wasn't until today, which, obviously we're talking like a day before it releases that it was tracking. But hey, I mean, I'm not pretending I know everything, but I'm just a guy.
The chat is spreading gay rumors about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah. Cosmic Urgency, I think somebody asked me about why I said that they were gay. I don't think I did.
No, you didn't. No. they're just saying that they're like, why does he even date women when he's obviously...
No, I said something. I made some crass remark about something like, look, well, I think what I was referring to was like, I don't know that they didn't experiment when they were kids. I don't know that they didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know it's just really funny that
there's people are alluding that Toby might have something on Leo, and maybe he does. Cosmic Energy said that is RD blacklisted or just you because he has recent stuff on his IMDb. Yeah, RD Rob is blacklisted. Of course he's blacklisted. It's not, I don't think people understand that. First of all, I mean, yeah, he's blacklisted. He didn't direct. We lost our friends. We lost our distribution. Yeah. We lost our ability to distribute. And by the way, most of his stuff isn't successful, and most of my stuff isn't successful. And the reason a lot of people believe is because of the blacklist. But it doesn't matter. The point is that we were at the top of the game in terms of launches go, as far as launches go, and so yeah, we're both blacklisted.
Oh yeah, this came from the user Aloud in our chat. It said, "I like your book a lot, but why did you tweet that Leo and Toby were lovers?"
Well, I didn't tweet that they were lovers, but you could refer. I think I know what tweet you're talking about. That one always kind of pops up every now and again. People are like, "Oh, I said something about," like, I also got really upset. I was in my like the like sort of the depths of depression.
Yeah, you're all.
Which I want to talk a little bit about tonight.
You were all angsty about it.
Well, I was just also just in the depths of depression. So there were days where I was waking up and I was like, I felt like I was about to like just completely come undone. And I know I tweeted a couple of things during those days. Like I think I remember one time I said Leo's Toby's little bitch or something.
Oh yeah,
that felt good. That felt really good because I actually do believe so.
Because how do you let somebody trick you with absolutely no evidence whatsoever into conducting like a destruction campaign against your friends? Like, you got to be somebody's little bitch to fucking fall for that kind of stuff, and then like continue to fucking devote your life and your energy to fucking to being their fucking destructo bot. Like, what the fuck is that about? Yeah. So I don't disagree. I think it's funny though that people want to ask you to like confirm or deny the Leo's gay allegations, and you're like, all he ever is doing is dating women. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think.
Like, I'm pretty sure the guy is straight.
I don't think Leo's gay at all. And but but did he and but if you'd have said that, do you think Charlie Sheen is gay? I'd have said no. He's not gay, but he's bi. And if you'd have said, do you think Charlie's bi? I would have said no. Because you don't know these things. How the fuck are you supposed to know these things?
Well, they're talking to you about it because you knew them personally.
Leo was never gay he never, to my knowledge, during the times that we hung out. In fact, he was kind of homophobic, actually. It's quite the opposite. Now, sometimes homophobia is the beard, right? Isn't that what they would call it?
Yeah, the beard, right. Felbombling has said it would be great money for the content creators if Blake and Taylor had a massive falling out. So expect to see more of that. Hanada said that Blake could be maid of honor at Taylor's wedding, and we will still read that it's a nail in the coffin of their friendship.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, that she's obviously...
They're going to twist everything. They're going to be like, she was forced to do it.
Yeah.
She insisted. She demanded that she was going to do it.
Because
one or the
Blake
other.
threatened to destroy her in the press.
Yeah. If I'm not your maid of honor, you have to just play the part.
Erica thinks that Leo is straight, but he just doesn't have the emotional maturity to maintain a relationship with a woman his age. Yeah, I mean, that I think is fairly obvious. I've always said, and I'll keep saying it until I know otherwise, that I think he has a psychological problem. I think Giselle broke his heart. That's what I think. I think she broke his heart.
Bro.
I think he was
gotta be careful
down
with
with
them
that for the longest haul, but he knew he couldn't fulfill what she was looking for, meaning she wanted a man.
She wanted Tom Brady.
I'm just kidding. But I think he had his heart broken, and I think it was beyond repair. And I think but I do think he also stuck in the he was just stuck in the 90s and early 2000s. When I did see Scott Bloom back in 2010, and we had a beer, he said of Leo that Leo, and this is when, so this would have been, I was 40, I was 42. And so Leo would have been 38, something like that, 37. And, Scott said that Leo basically acts as if his career is over. Like they're like the best years are done. He's like 37 years old. I'm like, he's 37 years old, bro. He's got like another 10, 15 years of just like being at the top if he wants. Like, what's he fucking talking about? But apparently he was like doomsaying, and I just think that there's a part of him that can't let go of his early 20s and his mid 20s. Maybe in his late 20s, that decade from when he and I fell out.
When he was the king of the world?
When he and I fell out, 1996.
Yeah.
To, whatever, until his fucking 30th birthday. I feel like that was for him like an era that he can't let go of. And the one thing that remains constant from that era to this day is a 23-year-old girl. Is a 22-year-old girl. They were all that age, and that never changes. And I feel like you can lay on the boat. It's as if they're his whoopee, his comfort. His whoopee is they call it whoopee, right? And then what they call those, like your
I think they call them muses.
Comfort, your blanket. Your blanket.
Yes, right.
It's not a muse. No.
No, I know.
He doesn't muse. He's not an artist.
No, I know. That's the thing. I mean,
he's an artist, but he's an actor, and he's a good one. I'm not saying he's not an actor. I mean, he's not sitting there like studying women to go and fucking play his next role.
It's true.
Leonard Cohen wrote about women.
That's
they
right.
were his muse.
That's funny. I don't get it.
What?
Having been a early 20s woman, I don't know why somebody in their 40s or 50s is interested in dating that age group.
I think it's a part of him clinging to a period in his life that he can't let go of. I think that listen, man, I think that when your life is so fucking magnificent, that it's untouchable in terms of greatness, access, money, women, fucking everything you want, anything you want. I mean, there was absolutely nothing on the whole earth that he could not have, more or less.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that your theory is a really good one. I also think that part of the appeal of younger adult women is that they are naive enough that they will tolerate mistreatment, or like not necessarily like mistreatment, but like, they'll settle for your attention as opposed to your care.
That is the ticket. That is the ticket.
Like, it's like after a certain age, women start to get like just frustrated because they've grown to learn what they like and don't like more clearly. And so they start to seek that. And I think that that's when he's very happy to just let them go. So he's not trying to be like a better partner or a lover. He's totally satisfied with the type of person who doesn't yet know what they want in that, and then he'll set them free when they figure it out. It's fucked up. It's fucking weird. Cosmic Urgency is scolding me for my pronunciation of Tijuana.
He's very.
I don't disagree. I recognize that I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Tijuana.
I spent 20 years in Southern California, and I don't recall anyone ever calling it Tijuana. It was always Tijuana. Yes, which is the wrong way to pronounce it.
It's English people pronouncing words that are not their first language. I don't make fun of people who pronounce English words incorrectly because it's not their language.
Yeah, like we call it Mexico and not Mexico or whatever.
Right.
It's fine, whatever.
Or Rio de Janeiro.
Are you gonna call the pronunciation police on me?
Right.
Am I gonna get carried away in a
I used to laugh at
pronunciation
all these
Patty
people in
Wagon?
LA. There was this guy named Arturo, and he was just a regular dude, right? He was born and raised in America. Mm-hmm. But when he said his name, he was Arturo.
Yeah.
Like every time, he would be like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'd be like, "Hey, yeah, you guys meet? No, what's your name?" "Oh, my name's Brad. Hey, my name's Arturo." And it was just like every time he'd walk in the room, as soon as he walked in the room, the first thing out of my mouth was Arturo Castillo.
Well, that's the reason why is because he learned his name pronounced by his parents who pronounced it properly. He's not going to learn his name pronounced by his fucking teachers who were doing the roll call who are pronouncing it badly. He's going to know his name from the people who named him.
I liked him. It was super fun. I wasn't making fun of the guy. Just the situation was super fun.
What's really
great,
great,
man, why is everybody so fucking, what is this Mars shit going on around here?
No, it's fun. It is really interesting when you watch like the news stations in Southern California where they'll have like a news broadcaster and they talk in their really like their broadcaster voice. But whenever they have to pronounce anything in Spanish, even like in the middle of a sentence, they'll pronounce it so perfectly because they're from like a Spanish speaking house.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
It's really amazing. I mean, that's especially amazing, when you get into like, languages that aren't, they don't even have an English or, our English alphabet, like our alphabet. Like, somebody who's like straight, like whatever, American accent, and then they bust out the Mandarin, like,
oh yeah.
And like, it's like just absolutely perfect. Equally hilarious though, is the individual, especially the Spanish-speaking individual, who speaks excellent Spanish but pronounces it like a white dude.
Oh yeah, I know.
We had this guy, like super big friend to this live, and my career. He's a big friend, big supporter of my work.
You worked with him on Small Group, right?
Yeah, I worked on him. I mean, he was an extra. Whatever. He did some investing.
So you guys went to Guatemala with him, and he's a Spanish speaker.
We went to Guatemala, and he's a Spanish speaker, but he speaks like,
a gringo.
I mean, I can't do it because I can't speak Spanish, but he just like everything.
Like the most American accent.
Every fucking thing. And
but
they
he speaks
were
quickly, like
loving it,
he's
dude.
fluent.
The Guatemalans were loving it, man. They were and I was howling and howling because he's having these fluent conversations and he sounds utterly ridiculous and it doesn't sound like Spanish, not even a little bit. But he was our savior, really. We had this guy who could communicate with all of our handlers, and we were getting carted all over the fucking countryside.
I really admire that because what that means is that the person set their sights on learning a language, and they recognized fully that they were not getting the accent right. And instead of letting that stop them, like it stopped me a million times, they just like pushed straight through, and they're like, "Fuck it," so I won't do the accent.
And he's a kick-ass,
and they just learn it fluently. It's
fluent
really amazing.
Spanish speaker. He does not try to pretend.
It's really admirable.
Yeah, because I'm more of a mimic. I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna try to get the accent.
Yeah, no, I know. Me too. It's very frustrating. That's why I don't speak French. I probably could have learned it like 40 times by now, but that accent is just impossible. What happened? You went to sleep?
Yeah, no, it's over.
You went into sleep mode.
Thanks for coming.
You shut down?
It's a wrap. No, I'm just, the in-betweens.
Okay, let's see what's in the chat. Kindly DiCaprio said, "It's true, I will enjoy every Leo movie, but also be very upset with him."
Who said this? Kindly?
That's the spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. I will enjoy every Leo movie, but also be very upset with him. And this is our right as consumers. We're allowed to do that.
Well, and it's fair. See, like this is like to me, this is how if somebody were to say to me like, "What do you want from all this?" I want him to be held accountable. I don't want him to be like, I don't want him to lose anything.
Yeah, you don't want his fucking career to suffer. That'd be pointless. That wouldn't help you.
Or the people that he works with.
Well, it's also like that's what he wanted for you.
Yeah,
he wanted your career to suffer. So what kind of a fucking hypocrite would you be if you tried to do that to him?
No, I said earlier that like, I can't see it, I didn't see his movie trending anywhere, but if it's true and, look, Cosmic Urgency is talking about all the ads he's seeing and that's cool. Obviously ads work. But when you see like the one post on our movies about this just before it's released and it gets less than 100 upvotes and it's got like fucking 8 comments and they're all like dissing on Leo, you just like, you're like, it's worth noting like, hey, is this guy about to flop a movie because of his reputation? It looks like that's probably not going to be the case. And here's the thing about this movie is if they win the weekend, that's one thing. But if they even just do well enough, if the movie is as powerful as the critics are saying, and it's literally tracking to be the highest critically reviewed movie of all time, then, expect an absolute fucking... And I think this is great. I think it's great for for them, but it's also great for Freedom's Plum. It's great for Too Real. I'm excited. I'm nervous also, but listen, man, the last time he had like a big deal, Freedom's Plum blew up, and we got a lot of traction, and I'd love to see that happen again.
Me too. Guilty Angel said, Diddy is. I've scrolled down in the chat to the place where we're talking about that Diddy story.
Yeah, okay.
Diddy is a blank blanking blank.
That's hilarious.
It's delightful.
I can't believe Leo was on fucking New Heights. Well, I have to just rethink everything. Ugh, God. Can't believe they're that big.
Who?
New Heights.
What do you mean you can't believe they're that big? They're mega stars. What are you talking
They're
about?
fucking football players.
Yeah, they're football
with
players.
With a podcast. Wow. It's wild.
Dale, that's what they're going to say about you one day. I can't believe Dale's that big.
No one's ever going to say that about me.
He's a fucking filmmaker with a podcast.
Yeah, no one's ever going to say that about me.
Why?
So I'm going to get, maybe I'll wait till the end of the show for this, the end of the live.
Okay, I'm going to screenshot this, Hinata, because I've caught up to the part where they're making references I don't get. You guys are smarter than me, okay? So I just have to...
listen to what Alex just said.
What?
One of the One Battle After Another TikToks had the second top comment about my book, and they turned the comments off.
Yes.
They're gonna try.
This is what they're gonna do.
They're trying to shut. If this is true, and that they're trying to shut down the word of this book, is just so good. Like keep going, guys, because all that's gonna do is rouse somebody big to write. Because all I need is one person to write about this thing, and it pops. And you guys are gonna be here for it if it happens.
You know that, like.
And by the way, the last time this happened, so it just sat there like this. And I'm telling you, man, like I wrote an open letter in 2014, right? You can read the open letter on freedomsplum.com in the blog section. But I wrote it and I published it on Tumblr in 2014. Nothing. I mean, the thing had no fucking traction. I got a little Facebook action when I launched it, and then that was it. And I mean, increment, like fucking nothing. And then it wasn't until his Oscar nomination that it hit big. And then at one point, George Takei, he fucking did that post on Facebook.
That post. He said it really Canadian.
That post on Facebook, and I got 400,000 visitors that night.
That's a lot.
That's so much. So, and this book is obviously much bigger because the open letter, I was like, Leo, you're a bad boy. You're a bad boy. Be a good boy.
Don't shout.
And this time I'm like, here's why he's a bad guy. There's actually substance.
Okay, here's something that's happening in the chat, and I think that you should just proactively address it, okay? There are people who are still trying to investigate and identify who Emily Foster is.
Yeah.
And there is a reason why you're not stating the identity of that person.
Correct.
And the reason you're never going to is because that belongs to that person, this part of their story.
Yes.
And that they don't deserve to be outed just because they were, exploited or even potentially victimized by somebody who's famous.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I'm filling in because you haven't chosen to say anything, but it's kind of not cool that people are trying to identify a person who really does deserve to remain anonymous.
Well, I mean, look, I understand
like
the
we're
curiosity.
all curious, but yeah,
I understand the curiosity, but listen, the issue here was that he did it. The issue was that he was
yes.
The issue is that a man in his 20s, okay? This isn't like, this isn't spin the bottle era of your life. You know what I mean? This isn't when you make those kinds of mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Or when you make those kinds of, when you're that kind of exploitative because you still haven't grasped at least just, some of the more really common courtesies, or I don't know how to put it, moral, ethics or whatever. I don't know how to put it, but at 20 years old, bro, you don't do that.
Exploiting and potentially humiliating a friend of yours for the benefit and entertainment of your other friends is just really bad behavior. And I don't think that her involvement,
it was gnarly.
Her involvement is not the part of the story that I feel like makes it worth sharing. It's his involvement, right? That he led that kind of scenario, created that sort of scenario. I just feel like I hope that nobody figures out who it is. I hope that she gets to like, maybe tell the story herself someday or
they're going to
really,
find out by me
or not.
The only problem with it is that and I recognize this when I put it out, but I'm not going to like not tell my story. I'm doing my best to maintain her anonymity. However, there were a lot of people there that night.
It's fucking humiliating.
So I can't.
Right? Like, even after all these years, I'm sure she's like, that sucked. That really felt really fucking bad. Man, it would be really nice if she
There's no reason for this part of her past to come back and haunt her. There's no reason for it. Those of us who were there know that no one needs to name her. And look, the reality is that without question, that night was spread, as a rumor. There's no doubt. I mean, I didn't get it because I was there, so I'm not going to get the rumor. Right?
Yeah, but a bunch of people heard about it.
It's impossible for that thing to happen and that not get out. So there are people who know, obviously, and there were a bunch of people there. I mean, when I looked at the deposition, there were like names I didn't even recognize. Like I forgot how many people were there
at your party.
At that party,
yeah.
So there was, and I do remember like a good little crowd outside that door, But anyway, so. I think that, most of us, I hope that all of us that were there will respect the fact that she deserves to remain anonymous in the situation.
It just feels like, I think like the closest like analogy to it is like when one member of a big group of friends gets pranked for everybody else's enjoyment. Like, it just feels like it must be like that,
For me, it was...
like, sure, you could be involved in the prank, but it's just like you're being humiliated for everybody's entertainment. Like, fucking, that sucks.
For me, the problem was, and I don't know if I put it as clearly in the book as maybe it is for me, but the problem for me, or what he did wrong for me more than anything, was that he didn't like her.
Yeah,
he had
this
no
is the
interest in
thing.
her.
That's why it's just humiliating.
This is what makes it malicious.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he was like, hey man, I'm going to just like, I got a kink. I'm going to start my kink, which is like, I want to have sex in front of people, or I want to have sexual, like, relations and as a spectacle, he's got some kink. It's
no,
cool.
he like literally like targeted a person he knew would do this for him, right? With him, to manipulate them into doing something embarrassing in front of all friends.
It was about the show in front of us. So you have to pretty much, call it what it was.
And like, shame on him for doing that shit, bro.
It was about humiliating her in front of all of us.
That's fucked up.
And he did. And that's why it's in the book. Because if that's if that's how you operate, then it's not so surprising. So not so surprising that he did to us what he did.
Yeah, right.
If he's capable of that to this person who, by the way, like, listen, this person was all of our friend, like a close friend.
Well, be careful so you don't too easily identify this person.
There's a lot of them. It's not like,
I know.
It's not easy for anyone to do. And again, make all your guesses. You'll never hear it from me.
So it's like, Jeremy Wright said Leo likes trophies, and it's like, is he continuing to do this with people? Like, is that why he enjoyed hanging out with Diddy, was because he would humiliate people for everyone's entertainment? Well, is this the same thing where they were like birds of a feather type shit? Like,
right.
Like, oh, I found a friend who's also into this kind of like sick entertainment that we're doing at other people's expense, where they wake up the next morning and they feel like fucking empty inside because of, something they got involved with. He was just into
some weird shit. Like,
it's fucked up, man.
Leo, like, a couple things that didn't make the book. Like, he did some shit like that was just like weird. Like, he'd pull me into his bedroom and he would show me shit that I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, weird shit. I'm not going to get into it. But he was just like, again, like, and these things are like separate from...
What, like pictures or videos or something?
Yeah, pictures and videos, man, of just weird shit. And it's just like, so I think he had like I think he had kinks that he was working through, that he was like learning about and working through.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not going to out people for kinks.
I went through a phase though, like where I would rent like the weirdest porn from the video store, just out of curiosity. And it was entertaining and weird.
I'm not judging anybody.
So
I'm just saying that
is that what you're talking about?
It might be that he was, like I said, working through kinks and working through, being exposed to things or whatever it was. Again, if what happened that day, that Christmas night, was something that looked more like a kink.
No, yeah, but you don't fucking exploit somebody and make a big fucking show of them for your friends. Like, that's just not...
I'm just saying I would be less judgmental if it was a kink.
Yeah.
I'm far more judgmental knowing full well, I know full well from his lips to my ears
That he didn't like her.
that he didn't like her that way. I mean, he liked her. He was friends with her like we all were. But he had no interest in her romantically.
Yeah, that's
none.
fucked up.
Zero.
Lame.
So he did that to exploit her, and that's fucked up in every fucking buddy's book, I hope. Certainly isn't mine.
Erica said, I saw something online about how Taylor Swift has revoked the godmother status of Blake Lively's child. That's just an insane thing to even suggest. They must be so fucking like upset and like, I don't know if it's like necessarily upsetting because that would probably be the point. But like how fucking weird to just be a celebrity and know they're just going to make shit up about you online and there's nothing you can do about it. And you really can't even really care that much because people are just going to continue to say weird shit.
Yeah, you just got to get past it. I
Like,
mean, I'm not a celebrity, obviously, but I've had the dubious distinction of having to just sit there and look at people totally dish on me. Say, like, if you go to the comment section of a lot of the interviews I did, whether it's the documentary with the New York Post or, Andy Signor's videos, which are now taken down, but other videos that I was on where these people were like fucking just saying horrible shit about me. And I just and I would like answer them and I just got exhausted by it. I was
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'll let you think what you want. Whatever you want to think.
I'm all
bro.
the things you say, buddy. Get on with it. It's interesting actually, because I can tell you that like I understand the how you would desensitize. Everything's broken, man. How you would desensitize yourself from these things, just from my very brief exposure to it. Like, it's really easy not to care. I find it very easy not to care, and I'm a very sensitive guy.
I'm glad that you've reached the point where you don't care about.
Well,
how
part of the
people
reason
think
is
about
because
you.
you don't fucking know me, and I know that.
Yeah, right.
And I know me. Like, I don't have to. Like, and I hope that more people, if they don't, start to rely on the relationship you have with yourself. I know who I am.
I think the best like little tidbit, like the best like motto I'd ever heard of on this topic was never take criticism from someone you would not take advice from. And it's so perfect because it's so true. Like, you don't know these people. They don't fucking matter. You think they're stupid, actually. So why do you care what they think?
Exactly.
Never take criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from.
For sure.
Like, I don't admire you enough to care about your opinion.
Exactly. I want to like Delicate
your
brought
perspective.
up like how I got to be like better with my emotions. She didn't say that about me specifically, but just Taylor Swift's advice of how like think of emotions as something like very expensive.
Yeah, right.
And like and you so
That is how a very super wealthy person would talk.
Yeah.
A very wealthy, very busy person.
I've been thinking about it ever since though.
Really?
Yeah, ever since that
Is it
conversation.
helpful?
Well, I haven't figured out how to do it and still maintain like who I am, because I am a passionate and emotional guy, generally speaking.
Yeah, I think that it's important to like, every single one of those influences, you were talking about Mars. There's a positive and a negative influence, and they're interconnected. So every single time you see the negative part, the influence coming through, you can just switch it right to the positive. Like it's like a card you can just flip over as you wish. So I think I think if you learn more about the positives, if you learn to work with the positive influence, then you can sort of eliminate or avoid the negative influences more easily.
Word.
I want to learn more about that. I personally like my Mars is in detriment. I have a really like inactive, like my Mars influence is asleep. And that's why I have no ambition. I really do not care about competition whatsoever. Like,
No.
I would rather lose than even bother playing. Like, just leave me out.
Totally. It's true. Like, ambition to you is like, it's just like, it doesn't mean you don't have desire. You have plenty of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I want to do stuff, but not because I'm like trying to achieve anything. Like, I don't care about any of that stuff.
And
so it's like, I really should sort of learn to master that so that I can better like wield it as a tool, because I fucking don't,
Yeah. No, you're right, Jeremy. Jeremy said passion and emotion are human, just being human, which is true. I definitely don't think I'm unique in that way at all. But I think that there are people who have a certain composure that gives them a great deal of power.
Composure. This is the thing. That's really
And
amazing.
I think that I'm somebody who can lose composure, like to the extent like I can even get myself like, dude, I just got, it's like I'm in a constant state of repair. Like I recognize that my head is
like Baldoni. He's a work in progress.
No, I'm saying it's worse than that. Like my brain is like broken. Like I'll be in the kitchen like making fucking oatmeal, and I'll have a conversation with somebody with whom I'm estranged, And then my day is practically ruined.
Oh, because you put yourself in a bad mood?
Because I put myself in this conversation that was all bad and toxic and me defending myself or whatever. And then I end up, like angry because I feel as though I've been mistreated.
Yeah, that's
because most of the people I'm having conversations with in my head are the people who've mistreated me. And sadly, I have a long list of people.
Yeah, and it's all like unreconciled pain. It's all
unreconciled pain. I have a lot of unreconciled pain, which is why cognitive therapy, what do you call it?
I think there's a lot of criticism about cognitive behavioral therapy lately.
Thank you, cognitive behavior therapy. See, dyslexic, oh my God. What was it?
Have some water.
I don't know what's going on. I got frazzled with fucking Leo and Jason Kelsey. I really
see. This is what happens.
It's like seeing, like you
got to put a fucking
you broke
lid on
up and then you see your fucking ex. You're like, did I just see what the fuck is that?
And you can't have fun at the party.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Cosmic Urgency said, I finally watched Sinners. What an insanely overrated snooze fest.
I couldn't agree more. I just didn't think it was a good movie at all. And I thought that Michael B. Jordan was bad. I don't think he was bad as an actor, but I think that he played two roles.
The same.
The exact same.
I know.
The only difference was the fucking red hat. I was like, man, that's how you're going to tell me you're wearing a different, what is this, a bad play? Like, that's what it felt like in terms of the level of professionalism. Like, that you put like a Robert De Niro in there, or, put like a Chalamet in there. They're going to be different characters.
Well, Robert De Niro does often play the same guy.
Okay, well,
so maybe
let's take it to,
if you put
Christian Bale.
You put fucking, okay. You put Denzel Washington.
Right.
Or you put Gary Oldman.
Or Christian Bale. Give me Christian Bale,
Like, you got to become a chameleon a little bit, bro, if you're going to,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so glad you mentioned him. Did you guys see the trailer for the Frankenstein's Bride movie?
Frankenstein's Bride.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal is directing The Bride.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein origin story, right?
Yeah.
And then there's going to be the Frankenstein makes a bride story. And Christian Bale is playing Frankenstein's monster.
We're just getting it, huh?
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
I'm excited for it. I love...
it looks fucking awesome,
I love Guillermo. I got to meet him like for a brief second, one time, and it was a thrill. And he didn't do anything except say hello and shake my hand. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so fun.
I know.
This is Guillermo del Toro shaking my hand right now. Goodbye. Okay, yeah, bye. Yep, yeah, that was fast. Okay, handlers. Hello, handlers.
Let's see. Jeremy Wright is talking about wanting to identify Emily Foster said, I have my suspicions, but I would never call her out, even if I knew she was exploited. I'm just intellectually curious, as I am with everything.
I understand there's a natural curiosity to it that can't be like remedied, and I understood that would exist when I released the story, but the sort of the focus has to be on, I hope, the act. Why'd you do it? That sort of thing. Also, it's just, again, it's like it's a character. Here's the thing that bothered me most is that, for 30 years almost, I never told these stories, even though they're relevant to the behavior that I believe they displayed when they fucking took me down and took my work down.
I think it's such a fucking boss move that he was like, hello world, I think Dale is a liar. And you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the secrets I've been keeping. Here are the secrets I've been keeping.
I don't know why I've been keeping your secrets for you, but you just convinced me that it's just been a little too long.
Yeah, not to. It's like enough holding back the fucking secrets while people are wondering whether or not you exploit women. I know you do.
Speaking of lies versus truth, here's some shit that did happen.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Delicatessen is saying New Heights has become a stop for celebrities to promote. I was okay with it until today. I don't know. They have gotten too big and are saying yes to some not so cool people, but doubt they know the deets we do.
Well, they don't. They're taking money. It's so weird. Why isn't there enough money? Travis Kelce is worth $80 million and he's marrying a billionaire and they just don't have enough money. You don't have to have sponsors. What do you have sponsors for? What do you have them for? Why? What is it that you don't have? What are you trying to get? Are you saving up for something? Are you saving up for a new car? What are you trying to get? Huh? You want to get some fucking coat of paint on the fucking old house?
Well, Dale, they do want to talk to celebrities, like everybody, you know? Like, of course they want to
I'm saying sponsors. Like, they're buying.
No,
we're talking about sponsors.
I know you're shouting it.
I'm not talking about, like, fucking hanging out with celebrities and getting the fucking skinny on shit. I'm talking about why the fuck are they just, why is there not enough money?
Yeah, I know.
Why can't we all just, this is the part of why it has to be taken from them. It has to be taken from them because they're like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it fills everything around them. They're just like, you know, that Scrooge McDuck. They have all the fucking, it's just piled all around them. Blah, blah, more money. And then you turn into fucking Donald Trump where you're spray painting yourself and coming outside and saying, buy my Bibles. They're good Bibles. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go fucking play with your grandchildren. Have a milkshake. Fuck, man.
They probably have very expensive milkshakes.
Fuck's sake, bro. I live on under fucking $30,000 a year. These fucking people are I need to get more. I have 3 jets. I should have 4 jets.
Yeah, I know.
It's just fucking, and this is why we're where we are. This is why because they can't have enough because fucking Nancy Pelosi has to have all the ice cream.
That was amazing. Where she was like, guys, I'm all ready for quarantine. And she opened up her fridge and everyone was like, read the fucking room, Nancy.
Read the fucking room, Nancy Pelosi. You literally have an entire dedicated freezer to ice cream, and you're a congresswoman. The fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God.
Oh, help me.
Cosmic Urgency said, I'm gonna readapt The Long Walk in 20 years. So get excited, everyone.
Yeah, I'm already excited, man.
I'm excited already.
I'll give you notes if you want them. I'm good at notes, man.
Also, Cosmic Urgency said, oh shit, the new Taylor album is a week away.
Is it that? We're there already, huh? Mm-hmm. Man, I'm gonna get my dance shoes on. I'm gonna get my little my sequins. What do you call it? What is sequins?
Sequins.
What is sequins?
Sequins are like they're like buttons, but instead of it being like a functional thing, they're just like a dot that is made of plastic, shiny plastic.
And it's on your clothing?
And so it's sewn on, and then it just catches the light and glimmers. That's it. It's a sequin.
Is it with a Q then?
They're like dragon scales.
Sequin is with a Q?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sequin.
Yeah.
Sequin.
Why
are you asking? Oh, you're going to put your sequins on?
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to wear for the album
You should wear
drop.
your tassel dress. You know, the one where like when you shimmy, it shakes. When you shimmy, it shakes.
Yeah.
Your tassel dress.
When I do my little...
That one that I got you for Valentine's Day.
Shake my boobies.
Can you imagine if like if the roles were reversed and we started getting like women started gifting the men like lingerie? I would be like, am I supposed
to wear it now? What do I do?
It'd be like, you know, like a thong underwear with like tassels and fucking ruffles and shit.
Did men ever buy you lingerie ever? I have not.
Yes, I have received like a teddies kind of like, no, teddies are the kind that are like a onesie. No, whatever. It was like a nightgown type thing. The lace was like scratchy. So I was like, I'm just never going to wear this. It's uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I bought some for a girl once in the 80s.
I'm really glad that I didn't have to like have that conversation. Like, oh, thanks, but I don't actually like these sorts of things. Like when you met, I wasn't wearing any jewelry, and so it's just never been a discussion. Like, no, I don't wear jewelry. I'm not interested.
Yay, no engagement ring. Yay, no more diamonds.
I just don't care about any of that stuff.
Me either.
I had one boyfriend. I dated one guy once who said that he really liked that I looked really nice unadorned. And he used that word, and I remembered it. And I was like, fuck, that's like a fucking great compliment. And ever since then, well, not like I was unadorned before then, but ever since I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't need any of that stuff.
I'm unadorned. That's kind of a cool title for like a book, Unadorned.
Yeah, it's a good word.
It really is. Oh, yeah, so Cosmic Urgency is dropping It, and he's asking what we think of dropping It halfway through. I'm totally fine with it, and here's why. I can't get through that book either. I can't. I've tried 4 times, 5 times.
Oh, okay. Well,
I bought it multiple times. I bought it in different formats. I can't get through that book.
I read it twice, and one thing that you should know
is that... You read it twice. That's amazing.
I did. Well, I read it in...
It's like reading the Bible twice.
No, it's very much not like that.
It's kind of like it.
I read it before the movie came out, but I read it previously when I was like in junior high school or something. Like I was reading Stephen King as a kid, like because my mom was reading them and they were everywhere, and she loved them, and so I was like, okay, well, I want to see what this is about. So I read like Cujo in the 4th grade and just never stopped. So I read it when I was really young, and it scared me so much, like all the drains and everything. I was just so paranoid about drains for like a year after. But I read it twice, and both times the ending fucking sucked. So like one thing you should know is that if you stop halfway through, like you're saving yourself from a really super disappointing ending. But the ending is kind of like a small part because the whole book is so good. So, but yeah, Stephen King is kind of known for having disappointing endings. Like when he finally reveals the monster and you're like, oh, that's it. Like that's kind of what it's like.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't get through the book and I wouldn't begrudge or I wouldn't judge anyone who couldn't either, because I think it's a tough read. And look, Jeremy read it when he was 17 and says it's still his favorite of his. I could see how like
it's a super good book, but it's just like it doesn't really go anywhere in the end. So after like reading 1,200 pages, you're like finally in the last 30, and you're like, what the fuck? This sucks.
It's obviously an amazing book, but
yeah,
I just can't. And it's also so big, and sometimes his longer stuff can be long-winded. And I felt like some of that was long-winded. Like I feel like it opens super strong. And then I just like, I don't know at what point, maybe it was the halfway point, but somewhere along the way I was just like, I don't think I'm going to finish.
Yeah.
I think I drift off and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm reading this fucking book. Whereas like The Stand, for example, I couldn't put it down. And then when it got to the like last like 100 pages, 200 pages or whatever it was, I put myself on like a diet because I didn't want it to go away. So I was like, okay, I'm only going to read. I'm like, I like looked at a calendar. I was like, how long can I make it last?
That's adorable.
Because I didn't want to lose Stu. I didn't want to lose.
Dale, do you remember that somebody said that about your book, that when they reached part 4, that they had to like, they wanted to space it out?
Yeah, that happened. Wasn't that
they
crazy?
didn't want it to end.
That's true. Yeah, somebody said that about me.
Isn't that sweet?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I know. I'm very lucky. I was, I if you go check out freedomsplum.com, I totally gave the website a facelift,
Yeah.
It was like long overdue. I really just kind of put it together, and Leo's movie's coming out, and so that usually means some action. So I took pictures of the book and I did all this stuff. But one of the reviews I posted some reviews on a carousel so people could read them. And listen to this fucking review that somebody wrote, this was January 2025. So I haven't looked at this since January 5th or thereabouts when it was posted. But this is a review on Too Real. Fascinating insight into the imperfections of Hollywood and friendships. That's the title. Isn't that a great title?
Yeah.
I was gifted this 563-page book for Christmas and finished it in 2 days because it's an easy, interesting read. The reader is drawn into the author's life after an impulsive move to Hollywood, where he quickly finds friends who work in the industry. This is a no-holds-barred account of a Hollywood outsider on the precipice of success who is almost destroyed from a duplicitous industry. The author brings the reader back with him to 90s Hollywood as he navigates friendship, deceit, and an unforgiving Hollywood. And while the reader will recognize many mentioned in the book, I think the story itself stands out on its own. If industry/names were different, it would still be an interesting account of what happens when a person is betrayed by those closest to them. Isn't that an amazing fucking review? So I had to post that one because I love
that one. That one has everything.
Fucking killer review. Like I'm like in that like state of, is that me? Are we talking about me? Something I wrote? Are you sure? Anyway, check out freedomsplum.com if you want to see my my sweetened up website. It's looking better. Hopefully it'll convert into sales. Michael Jackson. A couple of notes. First of all, the last thing on our thing is this Rapture. And I got to tell you, obviously the Rapture didn't happen. We knew it was going to happen. And I completely forgot about it until people were like,
I was curious.
Oh, the Rapture isn't going to happen.
I'm curious.
I'm never curious about these things.
I was like, what are they talking about? Yeah. Whatever. It's the eclipse just happened. Shit is getting super weird. Like, I wouldn't be surprised by anything at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the Rapture is, just not going to happen. I mean, it's just, because it's, whatever. It's cool. I mean, I understand people want to have faith in their Bibles and stuff. But come on. Anyway, so it didn't happen. which I felt was obviously the more predictable end here. I think most people did, but I feel a genuine sadness for these people.
Yeah.
And part of it is because it's like, when
true.
you believe in something and you put so much faith into something that is so much beyond you, and it's trust too, like I remember that when I was making the evangelical Christian movie, Small Group, we were like looking for a mega church to film the mega church scenes. And we went to one up the street here. It's massive. And the first thing that I walked in, it said something about trust. What was it? It was
it was a
Bold
mural.
Trush.
It was a mural in the daycare center, which was like to the side
for the kids.
And for the kids, and on the mural, it's so creepy. They had it painted on the wall, real big words, "Epic Trust."
Epic Trust, yeah.
And I was like, for kids, you really want with this church and this.
It definitely made me feel weird, but
like this reputation, like
but
really,
apart from that,
Epic Trust, huh?
What I'm talking about is what I really consider the victims of this false start rapture business. I feel bad for them. I feel because imagine.
I do too.
Like imagine like thinking that you're this thing and that you have this relationship with this like entity and that you've been so devout and you're praying to and you're certain on these things, and then these things don't happen.
Well, also, it's also that the thing that they were really, really looking forward to was leaving.
And that's the other thing.
And that makes me super sad.
Yeah, because
that means that you've turned a bunch of people who were satisfied with their life. You've given them a narrative in which they're super excited to leave. They've committed to that emotionally. And now they're left, and all of a sudden you have people who probably were totally content with their life, and now they still just want to leave.
We saw that woman.
Like that's a really fucked up, destructive thing to do to somebody.
She bought like 30 Bibles, and she wrote like these
for the people who would find them after she was gone.
Find them after the rapture, and now she's sitting there with 30 Bibles that she wrote in, so she can't even take them back to the Dollar General. I don't even the Dollar General take. Dollar General were probably like buying. They were like, what, a rapture? More Bibles.
Yeah, but so what happens to those people who now still want to leave, right? Like that's scary.
Yeah.
Are they going to harm themselves? Like, I don't know.
Well, there's that too. Like, I mean, oh my gosh. Like, I don't even, that did occur to me, but oh my God. Speaking of which, I'm going to parlay this right into this. Did you know that it is Unalive Month? Like Unalive Awareness Month?
Well,
did you know that?
If you're not going to use the word, are you really, is it awareness?
Yeah. Well, we're doing that for a reason, but did you know that? Did you know that?
I didn't know. No.
So, it is. This is, I guess, in a month that is dedicated to awareness around the issue of people unaliving themselves. And
do you know the story for why it's September?
I don't. I haven't looked it up, but I do know. Why do you?
No.
Oh, I don't know. But our star wide receiver on the Philadelphia Eagles, he was seen wearing going into the game, which he caught 6 receptions for 109 yards and a touchdown, by the way.
That's a good day.
He wore this, oh my goodness. He wore this jacket called, or this sweater, or whatever, but it said, check on your teammates. And it's really profound and really beautiful. And,
yeah.
And just really important. And whatever, I didn't know that it was this kind of a month. And it was just like, it's interesting because I think it's an important thing. Check on your teammates is a really cool slogan to go with it, because I'll tell you that, like, having been on the precipice of such a thing, I can say that, the withdrawal is massive, and you don't check in with people. You're not, so it's the person that's not talking. It's the person that, you're wondering, there's something in their eyes that isn't as alive as it used to be, perhaps, or,
That's really deceptive too, because there's a lot of people who have reached a resolve that actually makes them seem a lot brighter. Like, so there's a bunch of people that share like the chilling last photos or videos or something of their loved ones right before they did it, and they seem like super happy, engaged people, because they've they've found the answer to their question.
Yeah.
It's really.
I'm not saying
chilling.
you're going to catch everyone, and you're right. You got to it's hard to know specifically. But if you see somebody, or if you haven't heard from somebody, or if you know that there's like this sort of sadness or deadness or something going on with them, check in with them, man. Like, check deeply and be sure, because it's a really sad time for them, and certainly for others if something goes wrong. I have sadly had so many people, too many, that I've known that have had very strong either relationships with or close proximity to, who have lost their battle with these kinds of thoughts. And so I can tell you that, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, but trying to do something about it is I think, the best we can do at least. There's a sad story going around. There was an ex-NFL star. It just went around, and he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame of his high school. And 4 days ago, he couldn't show up for the induction, and so he taped it. And he's got a daughter and all this stuff, and he taped his induction speech. And in it, he said things like, dream big, reach for the stars, all this other stuff. And then 4 days later, he took his own life.
What?
Yeah. And so, and it's just like, it's a super sad story. His name is Rudy Johnson. I used to watch him play, and it's sad as fuck. And especially when I watched his video, I watched his acceptance speech video, and I could see in his eyes, I could see there's this thing in the eyes that you can look for that I saw on my own. There's a picture of RD and I that I put out there where we're standing by a fridge, and if you look into our eyes,
yeah, you guys look really.
There's a sadness that's
damaged.
That's super deep.
Yeah.
So just watch for it, look for it, keep your eyes on it, because there is there's a lot of hope when somebody close to you can kind of just show you that, like even in the darkness, there's a hand reaching out for you, that wants you to grab on, So keep it in mind, keep your eyes peeled, man. And anyway, sorry. There was a moment, I knew I wanted to have that moment. I didn't know that this month was such a thing.
How did you find out? From the football game?
Yeah, from AJ Brown.
Well, I guess he did such a great job then.
Yeah, he did a great job. Really did. Immediately, I was immediately like, this is a touchy subject for me because of my own personal battles.
Yeah.
And I know that we all have had them, maybe not to the extent that you're thinking about something so extreme, but we've all experienced the struggle of the difficulty of living in a life that's so in a landscape that's just changing so crazy, so crazily all around us. And we see things like betrayal, and people show up here. We have a person who's been coming around. I don't think they joined us tonight, but Nick's wife, big giant Toby fan.
Yeah.
And then read the book, and now she's like, oh, damn it, So we just lose our heroes, and it just starts to empty. The world kind of empties out. I remember when Anthony Bourdain lost his battle, I was in the middle of mine, and it was this happened obviously when Chris Cornell lost his, and then as a result of that, dude from what's that band? Numb.
Yeah.
Numb.
No, I know it's Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. I forget his name.
I forget his name too.
I don't mean to disrespect him in any way, but I forget his name for the moment. Anyway, it was like his loss of the battle came sort of at the feet of one of his main idols in life, Chris Cornell, losing his battle. Mm-hmm. So it's a silly bunch of dominoes, unfortunately, because I think a little bit of life empties out around you when you're in these states and you're seeing people lose their battle around you. You're like, yeah, right. The craziest story was that while I was in the middle of my battle, somebody who I felt dearly about, who was our production designer for Small Group, he lost his battle.
That's fucked up.
And it was while I was in my fight, man, I was like, I'm in my middle of the fight, and then he went down, and it was so heartbreaking for me. It was just absolutely so difficult to hang on to. Like the concepts around him. I loved this guy. I knew he was struggling when I brought him back for reshoots, and I talked about the eyes. He had the eyes, and and here's the worst thing about this, and this is I think why I'm talking about it a little bit about in terms of try to be aware. He had the eyes. I knew the eyes, the sadness, the void of life in his eyes, or liveliness, And I said to him, I was like, what's up? And he said, I got kicked out of my church. And I said,
he got kicked out of his church?
Yeah. I said, what do you mean? He was like, they said they don't want me coming to the church anymore because I got into a fight with one of the pastors, like an argument or something.
Oh my God.
And he's in a Methodist church, and he's very philosophical. Yeah. Was very philosophical. But anyway, I saw it. I saw the sadness. I was like, yo, what's up? And then I just bought what he said. I didn't check in with him. I didn't call him. I was so wrapped up in the film. I was making the movie. I was in the middle of post-production. I was getting these extra shots. We were running out of money rapidly. I had deadlines coming out of my ass. And I was letting all that stuff sort of just pile up around me. And there standing in front of me is like a friend with these eyes that are broken. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I got kicked out of my church. And as me, somebody who's not very religious, and I guess this is a really important thing. It's kind of like my story. You know, people look at my story. Many people have looked at my story and they say things like, oh, fuck, get over it. It's just a movie. So they can't relate. They can't relate to my loss. They can't understand my loss. I couldn't relate to his loss because I'm agnostic at best. I have no interest in the Methodist church.
No, but there's a whole brand.
So if somebody kicked me out of a church, I'd be like, woohoo, I'm gonna go over here and drink a beer.
There's a whole type of trauma people refer to called church hurt, where they get like they get harmed by community members, and then the community turns against them. You know, I've heard this a bunch of times where they're like, what about fucking forgiveness? What about understanding? What about conflict resolution? Like, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing in these places? But they don't. We were talking about that story about the the Speaker of the House in Georgia who was a defense attorney, and his one of his defense clients was a traveling pastor who had been accused of molesting a girl at this church. That he traveled to a different state, to Georgia, and apparently victimized this girl, and that her parents were suing him and the church. Well, the church expelled them. Instead of they sided with the traveling pastor who doesn't even belong there against the people who were victimized. Yeah. And that it was a total crisis for her. Like, she was just like, she had raised all of her children in this church and had been going to that church since she was a kid. It was her only church in her community.
Trust them with everything.
So she was talking about this, like, yes, it was devastating what happened to her family. Obviously, it was devastating to have to seek justice with like this very powerful man as the defense attorney who kept like delaying their court. But it was also, she was like completely devastated because she'd been expelled from the only community that she ever knew. And she was just talking about this concept. I'd never heard of it before. She was talking about church hurt. And it's just like this deep wound that you get. Like, it's not small. And I don't know why they don't expect that it's going to devastate somebody. And maybe this is a tool that they use to keep people in bad situations. Like, you'll be expelled from, like a cult does, you know, where they're like, if you leave here, you're going to have to leave everything. You know, you're not going to be able to come around here anymore and have any of your friends or your relatives or whatever. Sucks, man.
It does. Anyway, it's, you know, we have an opportunity maybe to like make a difference if there's somebody around you that can help. And look, here's the thing, man. When we lost Rob, after I missed the opportunity, I lived in the doubt of it, like I did for weeks. I was like, fuck, I was right there. I was right goddamn there. You know, all I had to do was be like, Rob, what is fucking wrong with you? And maybe I make a difference. And I quickly realized this is not healthy for me to do.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Like I figured out quickly because I was starting to feel really bad, and I was like, wait a minute, dude. Hey. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's the opportunity. It's finding the opportunity. It's just looking for the opportunities or recognizing the opportunities, and then you do what you can. Because in the end, depression is more powerful than anything. It's more powerful than anything. Depression has the ability to cloak love from the eyes of the hurting. It can cloak it. It's just like, where to go? There is no love. Love is gone. And they could be surrounded in it. Family members, friends, former lovers, like literally surrounded by love. But depression is so powerful, it will cloak all of it. They will not see it. They will not feel it. It is not there. So you have to be more like intrusive. What the fuck is going on with you? What the fuck is going on with you? Because, anyway. Oh my God. I cannot fucking believe Stefan is here.
Yeah, Stefan just dropped in.
This is so weird, dude. I was like thinking about him all day.
Yeah, Nadine is with us too.
And Nadine is here. I was thinking about you know, I think I brought up Nadine a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But Stefan, I had been like, you know, yes.
You conjured him.
Stefan disagrees about Sinners, man. I thought it was like bad movie. I thought there were good aspects of it. I didn't think it was a great movie.
Nadine provided some insight about World S Prevention Day. It was created in 2003 by the International Association for S Prevention and co-sponsored by the World Health Organization. September 10th was designated to draw global awareness to the issue of S, unaliving. S. It's
a big deal, especially among men. Obviously, it's a big deal regardless of gender or circumstance. We know it's big in trans communities. We know it's big in, middle-aged men. I mean, it's just, whew. It's tough, man. It's really tough. We carry a lot into these futures. And anyway, whatever. I don't want to bring us all the way down to the fucking basement here, but
well, no, I mean,
keep your eyes peeled, man. And
we could be constructive about it. Like one of the best books I read about it was by Johann Hari. I got to look up this title. He talks about how a lot of people are treating depression as if it's a problem and not actually like a normal response to very difficult circumstances in people's lives.
Yeah.
And he's saying that we're kind of avoiding actually treating it properly by not asking people like questions. Like if you go to the doctor,
exactly right.
If you go to the doctor and you're like, I struggle with depression, they're like, okay, well, let's put you on these drugs to make you feel better or to like deaden the pain or whatever. Let me see what this book is called.
I wish they'd just get on with the psilocybin and just save everybody. Like, just put it in the water, bro.
So it's called Lost Connections, Uncovering the Real Causes of Depression and the Unexpected Solutions. So he's like, okay, if you go to a job every day that is completely demoralizing and it fucking sucks and it's just like not where you belong, you're going to feel depressed until you make a change and start to begin a path toward what you really are truly meant to be.
Yeah.
So the treatment for your depression in that situation is to fix your fucking job.
Yeah.
If you are in a relationship where you're constantly being demeaned or you have a family that isn't supportive and everybody's making you feel shitty all the time and you can't exist as your true self, your depression is a very normal response to that very oppressive situation. So the treatment for your depression would be to fucking, separate yourself from these people where you could live your own authentic life and like you be who you want to be, and then you don't have to deal with that anymore. Like, it's like, also there's sometimes depression is simply like an immune response. So if you're eating garbage food and your GI lining is damaged by it, your body will start to try and heal the gut lining, but it's getting all of this food and particles and like, bacteria and stuff that gets leached through into your bloodstream. It causes inflammation all throughout your body. If inflammation gets to your brain, you're going to be anxious and depressed. So sometimes depression is simply the result of a fucking garbage diet. So your treatment would not be pharmaceuticals. Your treatment would be to like clean up your diet and try and heal your gut. And then you feel better.
You may not be a garbage diet. It could be that, but you just might have gut problems for
you might just have allergies or something.
You might have got H. pylori.
Yeah, exactly. Like some sort of
you might have gone to a
bacteria.
restaurant and been eating healthy, but ended up with like a bacteria that ended up fucking your.
So he's coming from the perspective of somebody who had anxiety and depression his whole life and was treated pharmautically all through his teenage years. And then he, as an adult, he was like, wait. Like, let's see. So he went and like it's one of these books where he goes and talks to a bunch of experts about like, what are the causes of depression? And I just think it's so typical that Western medicine is always trying to treat the symptoms instead of the cause. And sometimes people don't want to hear about the true causes. Like, okay, you don't want to find a better job, but your job is making you want to fucking unalive yourself. Like, you need to find a better job. Like, you need or a different path, right? Something has to change, or you're not going to feel any better. And it's just like, this is the way of our modern living. It's so often that that's the case. So a lot of times people are depressed for very good reasons, and they shouldn't be gaslit into thinking that there's just something wrong with their brain. But, it's much easier to just take a pill to make you feel better and all the side effects that come with it. So that's my input on this topic. Dale, are you with me?
I am.
Doesn't feel like it.
Depression is H black, nothing that can't absorb light.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting. Hanta black. Yeah, nothing that can't absorb light. It chokes it.
Yeah.
Austin said, give me shrooms already with a spa, preferably.
Well, it's true. I mean, it's interesting because it's not even like that we're talking about a dose that actually changes, like that you actually like, trip on. It's literally microdosing. It is, listen, the studies are in, it's not even mushrooms. It's like LSD. It's all these other, like the microdosing these drugs results in, like practically a cure of depression.
Yeah, because it's just sort of like awakens your depleted brain chemistry. So it's almost like it works in the same way that a pharmaceutical, well, there's a bunch of different pharmaceutical treatments, but they say that the reason why they think psychedelics help with depression and anxiety is it just sort of like, it's like corrective. your brain chemistry is depleted or something's malfunctioning. And the psychedelics are like, what if we put some jazz hands in there? Like dazzle it, zhuzh it up a little, you know? And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, things are pretty good. I find pleasure in stuff again.
Nadine's talking about, dealing with a family member that's dealing with anxiety and depression and addiction. Well, especially with addiction, like, look at that gut health, man. Like,
oh man, it makes such a big difference.
It's a big deal. Listen, I'll tell you what, man. I got over depression, and I truly am over it, which I'm just so excited for because, well, for obvious reasons. And a part of, I think that, I credit the book, but I also credit my diet. Like I changed, like I got off of all, cause I was just, this, I was getting swollen fingers, and it was just, my guts were wrecked because I got H. pylori, which is a bacteria that can literally end in stomach cancer. It just destroys your guts. It destroys the microbiome in your guts. It eats at the gut walls. It causes things like ulcers, diverticulitis, and gastritis and other problems that, again, and chronic inflammation. That chronic inflammation, of course, can lead to, to cancer cells reproducing and so on and so forth. So gut health is a big deal. One of the things I would definitely do, Nadine, is like see if they could get a breath test, or even better, like a stool test or a biopsy. Meaning,
yeah, because you got a false negative on your breath test, huh? There's false negatives can happen on that too.
I can't remember what I got, but I ended up getting a biopsy. I think I got a false negative on my breath.
But you were positive.
I got a biopsy, and my biopsy was positive. And it turned out that I ended up I was probably infected with this bacteria for a couple of years.
Yeah, and so what happens is if your immune system is overly burdened, it will flood your bloodstream with inflammatory cells, and that'll affect the way that your mental processes work. Like it'll affect your mood. It'll affect depression and anxiety and stuff.
It's a big deal. And
we went on a healing diet as a result of this diagnosis that you got.
Yeah.
To heal, I guess you were like pre-ulcerous or something.
Yeah.
And it just on accident, I had really, really bad anxiety, and it completely disappeared. It got to the point where, like, instead of being like overcome with a wave of anxiety, I could sort of like sense that it was nearby and like try and help, it was like instead of being underwater, you could feel that the water was like at your knees or even at your ankles, or maybe even like kind of washing nearby, It's just such a big difference. Like it was massive, the change. And all that we'd done is change the way that we eat.
Yeah. The H. pylori thing is so weird because it's so interesting because H. pylori was at one point, like nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew. And the guy won a Nobel Prize because he said, I believe H. pylori causes ulcers and causes severe gut health issues. And nobody believed him, so he drank a beaker full of this stuff.
And then he developed ulcers?
And his guts went to shit.
Oh, my God.
And then he had to get treated, and he proved unequivocally.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, well.
He won a Nobel Prize for it. He fucked up his guts, but he won the Nobel Prize, man. The guy was like, that was a brave thing to do because he was like, he knew that, and here's the thing about it. This bacteria is so severe that it takes a triple antibiotic and like the most like aggressive. It's fucking like chemotherapy of fucking bacteria, dude.
Oh my God, Damon Child is like correcting me about my source. That's so funny.
That's great.
If you knew, Johan Hari is an extremely dishonest journalist who argued vociferously for the war in Iraq. He lacks credibility. Veering into self-help was the only career path left for him. Oh no.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I did think that some of his insights were helpful. And I thought that his perspective on depression, I wouldn't, obviously you're right. Like I wouldn't take, if I'm trying to learn about politics, world politics especially, from somebody, it's super important to learn about their credibility and whether they have an agenda that they're trying to push, like everybody, because it's so easy to get advice from propagandists.
Yeah.
But I was very much eager and
Dude,
very
Diddy just
accepting.
gave some great advice to some fucking inmates, and I'm not shitting you. He gave them great fucking advice.
I know, but look at the credibility of the source.
Doesn't matter. You get great advice. You get great advice. You take it. Fucking P. Diddy sitting in a goddamn jail with a bunch of fucking criminals who or at least who you can imagine some are ready for a change of life. You know, some are ready to transform. They want to get the fuck out of there, and they went and they got fucking help from this guy because he trying to get score some points with the judge. Puts together a little fucking P. Diddy fucking seminar, and he ends up delivering the goods. The things that he's talking about are good fucking pieces of advice.
Yeah, and it's true. Like Johan Hari's depression book, Lost Connections, I was really looking for an alternative explanation, right? So if he's
that doesn't
just,
excuse, by the way, and sorry to interrupt, but that doesn't excuse that this guy might be a total piece of shit. If he's sitting there fucking, if he's a general, a guy who, lobbied for the war in Iraq, go fuck yourself 100 times.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that I was definitely seeking the kind of book that he wrote, and I thought that his explanation was very definitely affirmed my assumptions.
Yeah.
Which is like, self-help books sometimes just do that for people, where it just helps you clarify your own thoughts. But for a very long time, I suspected that anxiety and depression are not like dysfunctions of some sort of like mysterious brain problem, but instead like a signal of where to investigate where you need some help, right? Like if you're anxious or you're depressed, it means that something needs working on in your life. There's so many people that are like, oh, I'm depressed and I need treatment for it. And they're like, they're in a marriage that's fallen apart years ago and they're just like, sleepwalking through life. Like, obviously that person would probably be better off if they changed a few things,
Yeah.
And so I was just looking for a book that was talking about that. And, if all of his book is just compiling the advice from other experts, I still feel like that's credible because it's the experts I'm listening to.
That's what Tony Robbins did.
It's his framing of it, of course, but
Tony Robbins was open about it immediately. Lisa Timms is here, by the way. Good to see you again. He is Tony Robbins. When he started, he was like, "Look, guys, I'm an aggregate. I have taken the best of everything that I could find about things that people do to create the best life for themselves, and I put it into one seminar." He made up a couple of little things to try to like give himself some TMs.
Trademarked.
But other than these things, these little like things which he called, like, for example, he called something neuro-associative conditioning, which was like this sort of spin-off of neuro-linguistic programming. So like, he did these kinds of things, but ultimately he openly admitted that, his whole approach was to to relay information that you wouldn't have otherwise sought.
Yeah, some people are just really, really good aggregators. And I think that it makes sense that somebody would go from, to segue from journalism into self-help that way. But I really appreciate this, though. Damon Child, that's really good that you let me know.
Yeah, calls out anytime. David, by the way, you remember David the singer?
Yes.
The rap, I guess he's a singer.
Has he been arrested?
And he's got himself that rather serious problem.
Is he under investigation?
I imagine he's a person of interest. He is not under arrest to my knowledge, but what he is
I heard that he was working with them. I mean,
cooperating.
Yes, that's the word.
So there's so TMZ put out this thing where there's a woman who looks like, or a girl who looks like the victim, up in a balcony, which would be like this like a crew balcony for one of his shows, and it was a 2025 show.
Okay.
And they used that, and then they said, well, if this is her, then this is at least establishing some timeline for when she was killed, because she would have been alive at this concert.
Oh.
And then they immediately retracted and said, this is not her. Sources tell us this is somebody else. So this is so weird. This woman that they showed in the picture looks strikingly like the
victim,
like the 12-year-old or 15-year-old, victim that was found in his car. Strikingly like her. And so it's just interesting following this case to wonder whether or not this guy might be in this situation where he has this like nagging problem that isn't a real problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not her. Because there's all these other photographs that they claim are her, or this victim with David, but it might not be. It might be this other girl that looks extremely like her, because the one
dude, I've seen pictures of the victim, and I personally went to school with like 20 girls that look like this. Like, right. This is just she's
got a look. Yeah, she's got a very common look.
Southern California girl looks like this. Is just
like this curly
really,
hair.
Really common.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just a weird thing, because he's like, this guy's like in a bit of a pickle. And he very well might not have anything to do with it, but it looks so damn suspicious. Even here on our live, I brought up like, man, bro, what's up, dude? Like, this is...
Well, one thing that he can't get away from is that if he had a romantic relationship with somebody who was underage, he's in big trouble for that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, I mean, at least the cops have that. If they suspect him for actually being responsible for this horrific crime,
Yes.
Then they can at least arrest him on that. And then while they work on the investigation and bring in charges. I don't know, man. I don't know how it goes. That is a pickle. That's
I had one more
spot.
thing and I can't find it.
Nadine said, I'm all over this David case. I go down the rabbit hole every couple days. He dated 2 girls with the same name, same last name.
Yes.
Herrera
weird.
and Hernandez.
It's so weird. He's definitely got a
Celeste.
type.
They were both named Celeste, and they look very similar.
They do. It's the
really
fucking
creepy.
craziest story. So yeah, and like you wonder, like, you know, how we're absolutely sure that Elon Musk put a dead body into space in a Tesla.
But we're also, it's so funny that you haven't mentioned you, Dale.
Me?
Yes.
What do you mean me?
Your ex-wife's name is Angela. My name is Angela.
Yeah, I know.
We don't look the same or anything, but
No, you don't look the same.
it
We're
happens.
not the same. Anyway, who likes cilantro? Do you like cilantro?
Yes. Is it a soap gene? Do people say they have a gene that makes cilantro taste like soap? Is that a gene?
It's a gene in a person?
Yeah, like apparently.
And it makes cilantro bad.
Yes, it makes cilantro taste like soap.
What? This is real?
Yes.
You get the bad cilantro gene?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, wow, that must be a bitch if you're living in a high cilantro, like Mexico.
No, I had a friend who loved Mexican food but hated cilantro.
But he got the cilantro
She had to
gene?
keep asking them not to put cilantro. And it was apparently, and this is interesting, if you cook cilantro, like if it's inside a recipe and it's heated or something, that it stops. So it's just that they can't eat raw cilantro because it tastes like soap, but otherwise it's fine.
It's so weird. Stefan's like, yes, the space Tesla, that was absolutely a body. As
Yes,
soon as I saw it, I was like, that man put the evidence, put the body in space.
Nobody questioned it?
Nobody questioned it.
Nobody thought, hey, this is suspiciously...
There's a dude in that suit.
Yeah, dude.
There's a dude in that suit.
I think that there's a really good reason why nobody seems to want to question or bother Elon Musk with much, and it might be because they don't want to end up as a fucking space corpse.
Fuck, dude. What a way to get rid of it. As soon as I was like, you know, as a writer, I'm just like, oh, this is immediately.
Yeah.
You know, put that body in space.
I'm so glad that Stefan is saying the same thing because I can't believe that people didn't suspect him.
Nadine has the cilantro gene.
I have the gene. It tastes like hand
She cannot
soap.
put it in her guacamole. I could never eat guacamole without.
Well, Nadine, you got to test it out. I think that if you cook cilantro, that it won't taste like that if you heat it.
But she might not like the way it tastes.
Oh, well, then it would just taste like cilantro. It wouldn't taste like soap.
Dried cilantro doesn't taste like cilantro, really. Wait, cilantro is, what is it? What seed is cilantro? It's a spice seed. It's called something different, like
Coriander.
Coriander, yeah. Mm-hmm. Isn't that, so I wonder what that, like if you have that gene, what happens with the coriander?
I don't know. We've talked about a lot of different things.
You put
tonight.
a little coriander and a little cilantro, it's a little redundant. All right, the last thing I'm going to talk about is that the Eagles, Jordan Davis, won NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. If you didn't watch the game, he is a fucking 300-plus pound individual. He blocked a field goal, and then he ran 66 yards for a touchdown, and outrunning an entire team.
Yeah, he was faster than everybody.
He was faster than everybody.
How much does he weigh?
Over 300. I don't know. It's like over 300 pounds.
No, wait, let's look this up. What's his name?
He runs faster than a fucking panther. Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Eagles weight. 336 pounds.
336 pounds. This motherfucker ran 66 yards for a touchdown in a fucking straight up sprint and beat everybody out after blocking the field goal. Anyway, that's your sports highlight for today.
That's really fun. I bet all he had to do was like get up to speed, and then like the momentum of his forward motion with all of his weight just sort of carried him like a sail.
So Nadine says, "Damn good dog," and because he was a Georgia Bulldog.
Oh yeah.
And after the Philadelphia Eagles drafted him, they drafted him in the first round. And I was walking around town in Athens, and a guy drove by. He had his entire, I think it was I don't know, some kind of truck, like a Ford F-150 with a cab on, and he had the entire truck and cab wrapped in a Jordan Davis, like kissing the trophy because they won the national championship.
He had a great day. He had a great night that night.
It's very funny.
I love that Stefan said it all in caps. The space Tesla, that was absolutely a body.
Because he got away with murder right in front of our eyes.
Absolutely.
He got away with it. And he put it up in space and they'll never get it.
He disposed of a corpse in the most creative way possible. And
hundreds of years from now.
Everybody that knows him knows that.
Hundreds of years ago, they're going to have to, they're going to figure out how to clean up the space junk. They're going to have like some kind of technology, fucking magnets or some shit.
And they're going to be like, holy shit, there's a body in here.
There's this thing. And they're going to be like, oh, when we were cleaning up the junk a couple hundred years ago, Elon Musk, the deranged entrepreneur from the 2000s, he launched this car and then we took the helmet off and Skeleton.
Skeleton.
They're going to find it.
It probably didn't even decompose because it's so freezing up there. So it's probably just like a crispy cracker.
Oh, you're right. There's no skeleton. There is no decomposition. You're right. He's straight up. He's probably smiling. He probably like made them pin up a smile up.
That's so creepy, Dale. You're being too creative.
I'd be like, hold it there and put him in a flash freeze him and then put him in the car and send him off into space. Well, this is what you can do when you're rich, bro. You can make all your problems go away. You can even send them into space and dress them in suits.
Yep. As a big fuck you to everybody.
Stefan, are you going to go see One Battle After Another? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
One Battle After Another? I finally got the name down. I actually wrote it in one of our descriptions wrong.
What'd you call it?
I don't fucking know.
Vineland. Call it Vineland.
Vinland. Right, that's the book it was based upon?
Yeah, but it's loosely based. So usually I like to read books before I watch the movies that they're adapted from. But apparently this one is so different. So it doesn't.
I have to figure out how that works. Like as a writer, like to loosely base. What is that like? What does that mean in terms of like the legality of it all? I wonder what it means. Like, what does loosely based mean? I mean, obviously you still have to obtain the rights. It's weird.
I think the difference is that Vineland is based on some counter-revolutionaries, and then some revolutionaries, and then the counter, like whatever, like the cops versus the revolutionary, like guerrilla. I don't know, Black Panthers maybe. I don't know. And it's set in like the 1960s.
Oh, really?
But in this one, he has just used that as like I don't know the whole plot of the movie, but I know that it takes place in 2 times, right? So the guy, DiCaprio's playing a guy who used to be part of this, but he's gotten old and lazy, and then he gets dragged back in.
Just when I thought I was out.
It's one battle after another, I guess.
Yeah, Leo does look pretty great in it. I think he's gonna have another big success on his fucking. And, he's Tom Cruise. He's the new Tom Cruise, except that he can't do a stunt.
It would be fun to see him run real fast, though, right?
Well, if you can come back and let us know what you think after you see it, Stefan, I'd be glad to hear.
When
about
is it out? Is it Friday?
I believe it's released Friday, tonight at midnight, maybe. I know it's going to be on them big screens.
Are we going to go to a drive-in and try and watch it? Yeah, we're going to go
drive-in, yeah. I want to go see The Long Walk, even if Cosmic Energy tossed it.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We can form our own opinions.
Yeah, Benicio, I heard Sean Penn is like absolutely out of this world. So I got to see it for that reason alone. And it's also PTA. I got to see PTA. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are in overtime. And I do kind of have a splitting headache. So I'm going to call it a night. You guys are absolutely wonderful and beautiful. And I'm so glad we got to spend this night with you guys, because it really is something I look forward to every single day. And it's all because of you. So I hope you'll come back again tomorrow when we cover absolutely nothing. Because nothing is happening. We're just talking shit now. We're just like, oh, hey, did you see that chipmunk the other day? But we'll find some things to talk about, because we're committed to this daily thing. And I like hanging out with you.
I know, me too.
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I hope you'll hang out with us again. Stefan, good to see you. Good to see all of you who come around so often. Tomorrow.
Yep.
Good night, good night.
Good night.